what is going to happen tonight.
Good morning and welcome to the KD5 playing fields here in beautiful Guernsey. Andrew Leonard bringing you these pictures this morning with ICC Europe, and delighted to report for the first time this week we've got a sunny sun in the sky. Beautiful blue skies, just some puffy white clouds as well. And we've got a Nordic derby here on what was supposed to be the reserve day. We were all supposed to be on our day off, but fortunately after some rain, torrential downpour really on Saturday during game day 1, we have managed to utilise the reserve day for this Nordic derby. A little bit of news from the toss. The Danish captain Amisha, he won the toss this morning. It was actually the Norwegian captain Rade Iqbal's birthday, so he was the one who tossed the coin this morning. But Hamid Shah, he won the toss and he decided that first. Great disappointment for Denmark yesterday. They lost their opening match of the tournament after the washout of Norway game on day 1. That was yesterday on game day 2. They lost to what is really been an inspired Jersey team. Jersey making it 3 from 3. So let's take a little bit of a look at the points table. It's the points table on your screen there now. As you can see, Jersey Italy, they're right on top, 3 from 3. They've stayed perfect. Hasn't gone all the Italians' way. All 3 of their games have been quite difficult at times. But Jersey Italy 3 from 3. So what that means for Denmark is that Denmark must win today. So we're about 6 or 7 minutes away from the start of play here. That's the result of the toss. That's the points table we got on screen. We're just going to get a few little technical bugs sorted out with our audio particularly. We'll join you back on air for the 10:45 AM start for this, the Nordic derby between Norway and Denmark. Welcome to the glorious KG5 playing fields. You can see the sun breaking through the heavens today. We're just getting these few little audio issues sorted out for you. As soon as we do, we're going to be going live on air, hopefully in time for the first ball. Just bear with us for a couple of moments. And a very good morning if you're just joining us for the first time today. Andrew Leonard here with ICC Europe, and I've got Ciara Metcalf, the former Irish leg spinner, in the box next to me. So 2 leggies together. How are you, Ciara?
Oh, Lenny, this is a dream. This is really exciting, actually, and we're getting to see Mary Waldron is umpiring this game today. Fellow Irish person too. Exciting day ahead.
Yeah, so two umpires standing today. The Irish women's wicketkeeper, that's Mary Waldron. She's joined by Heath Cairns, who's at the striker's end. We got the Nordic Derby, Norway against Denmark, and Denmark and Norway realistically are both in must-win territory. If Norway lose today, they can count themselves out of the qualification for this, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe final, with just one side from the 6 will be advancing through to the global qualifier that will be held in the UAE in October. Ciara, you were watching Norway yesterday. Disappointing day for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel they'd be disappointed having their team meeting last night. Hopefully they can regroup and try challenge this Denmark team.
And we're going to see interesting tactics continue from Denmark, because we did see this yesterday. Nikolai Lagsgaard, the tall spinner, he's actually going to open the batting as a bit of a pinch hitter, Ciara.
Definitely. I just feel with Denmark yesterday, they'd be disappointing with their batting. They're going to look, I'd say, to attack the bowlers here up front and keep ahead of that run rate.
I'm going to be spin to open the innings for Norway, so we're going to have to wait to see the tearaway quick of Hayatullah Niazi, one of the most exciting players in this tournament, the 18-year-old from Norway. Going to be spin to start from the 4G end. It's game 8 of the Men's T20 World Cup Europe final. Here we go. Under edge to start, and it's going to be runs off the first delivery, but not in the way that Denmark would have wanted them. Only half a stop from the Norwegian captain Raz Iqbal at slip. A little bit of turn to start the day, Ciara.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just keen to see the running between the wickets. Jersey set the standard yesterday, and throughout the tournament, actually, they've been fantastic, turning ones into twos, and it's definitely been game-changing, bringing up the total.
Glorious day here today. Sun splitting the skies for the first time this week.
It's fantastic, Lenny. I've got sunglasses over my glasses.
Yeah, fielders being sent everywhere by the Norwegian skipper Raza Iqbal. Just 2 men allowed outside the circle for these first 6 overs, the power play. And those fielders deep mid-wicket and long on at the moment. Really good solid stuff. It's Prithvi Bharat opening the bowling for Norway, bowling some regulation off breaks from the far end. A little bit of a mix-up between the running already. We've seen that throughout the week. Germany here on game day 1 were shocking between the wickets at times. It's been a real struggle for some of these countries.
Yeah, I think nerves are playing a part. It's a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, nicely bowled and good turn. Haven't seen much turn across at College Field as the pitch is starting to wear throughout the week. Perhaps going to get some assistance for the spinners.
Yeah, this is day 3 on this wicket, and we noticed yesterday the ball was holding up a bit more. The batters were getting on top of the spinners.
It's a good analysis of the conditions from the Norwegian skipper. Starting with spin, you can see turn and bounce there. Not easy for the Danish batters. They really struggled yesterday. They were 36 for 6 at one stage.
Yeah, they lost wickets very early, and you could feel that they got deflated very early.
Look for the quick single, and that's really good running. Despite the direct hit, a wonderful piece of fielding from Walid Guri. They're going to get in for the single. So 2 runs coming from the first over. Denmark 2 for none. Let's take a look at the 2 teams today, Ciara. We'll start with the Danish 11. 3 players left out. Anders Bullu continues to recover from that blow in the head on training during a fielding drill that happened on Friday, so he's been left out. Bashir Shah misses out, and Omar Hayat as well. Plenty of spinners in this Danish 11.
There is. I just feel yesterday they were unlucky. They just, with their batting order, they'll definitely want to spend more time at the crease and push through the hard times. Maybe place a little bit of ugly cricket and get them to a nice total.
Going to be Junaid Sheikh to open the bowling. Let's take a look at the Norwegian 11. They're 14 men squads this week. The 3 players to miss out: Nazakat Ali, Javid Maruf Kale and Pratik Agnihotri. So that's the playing 11 for Norway today. They need to get a win. We're going to take a look at the points table, possibly at the end of the next over. But Norway, they're none from 2 at the moment. Denmark none from 1. So this crucial refix that's being played on the reserve day here at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final. It's a must-win game for both sides, really, Ciara.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good pace to start with from Sheikh. Big, tall, gather in his action through to the keeper. And interesting to see Hayatullah Niazi, the left arm quick, held back.
Yeah, and just yesterday, Norway chopped and changed in the field a lot. They didn't find their lines. It put pressure on the fielders, and I'm hoping they find this consistency up front.
Big swing and a miss outside the off stump. Some movement as well for Junaid Sheikh. That's movement off the pitch. Hits the seam, goes away from the right hander. Really nice bowling.
Straight away you can see the energy levels are up, and that was very evident yesterday. They were very down, I suppose, in comparison to Jersey, who jump around the place. A different outfit today.
Beautifully bowled again, beats him for the second consecutive delivery outside the off stump through to the keeper. Norway up on a buzz to start this morning. Remember, they lost the toss and Denmark decided to have a bat first. I was a little surprised at that, but perhaps the fact this is a wearing pitch came into that decision. Denmark wanting to utilise their spinners in the second half of the day.
Mary signals a dead ball. The bowler just heads back.
That's driven beautifully through the offside, over pitch by Junaid Sheikh, looking for the glory ball. It's going to be the first boundary of the day. Beautiful shot from Hamid Shah.
It was a fantastic shot. Again, we spoke about lines. You can't allow these guys to free their hands, especially, I suppose, in the first 6 as well with the fielding restrictions. But a really, really nice shot to open his account.
Yeah, you see in your graphics at the bottom of the screen, it says Hamid Mazhar, but that's his middle name. He's Hamid Shah, Danish captain. Played a little bit of cricket over in Ireland, actually. A club that you used to be associated with up in the hills.
The Hilly Billies.
Beats him outside the off stump again. And Sheikh finds his length. He is getting movement off the pitch here.
Yeah, certainly. I spoke to Hamid yesterday after the game, and he was very disappointed. He actually came in later in the order, and he just felt they didn't approach the game the right way, so he'll be out to prove a point now today.
Trying to lead from the front here, the Danish captain. Overpitched again, hit into the leg side this time. Just going to be a single. So he's somewhat dominating the strike. He's faced 11 of the 12 balls so far. At the end of the second over, it's 2 for none. Let's take a look at this points table, Ciara. This is the state of play after 7 of the 15 games in the tournament.
Yeah, Jersey, I've covered their games, have been fantastic. Fielding, batting and bowling. They've really, they deserve to be on top of the table at the moment. They are definitely a team to beat. I haven't seen Italy. You've seen Italy over the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done all 3 of the Italian games. They a little bit like their footballers. Lots of flair in the side. They certainly haven't been consistent. They could have lost all 3 of those matches, to be honest with you. They were behind the 8 ball of those games at various points, but they've been really entertaining to watch. Some spectacular catching, some drop catch as well, but I think their fielding has been really impressive. And a big man to watch, Joy Pereira at the top of the order. A little bit like Sanath Jayasuriya used to do for Sri Lanka, even though he's a right-hander, Pereira. He just tees off from ball 1. So really good to watch the Italians. Full driven again by Shah, but we've got every fielder in the offside there in the ring. Slightly over pitched by the off spinner this time. Pulled straight down the ground. There's protection out at long on. Just going to be a single despite the fumble.
We actually haven't seen a huge amount of flight with the spinners this week, Andy. It's been more using the crease and pushing it through quicker. So I'd actually encourage, especially when it comes over to the 6 overs, to push the mid-on, mid-off back and really flight it up, and let's see some shots from the batters.
Yeah, a lot of spinners these days darting the ball in, not allowing the batters to get underneath it. Slightly more defensive tactics. Hit down the ground. That would have been a spectacular catch from Bart. He did get a hand on it. Really probably saved 4 as opposed to a drop catch, Ciara.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even in the shots, you can see at the moment Denmark haven't settled in here. They're a little bit nervous. So again, how they're running, just you can see by body language.
Yeah, Denmark know this is a must-win game. They went down by 18 runs to Jersey yesterday, but really they were never in the game. Margin of victory flattering them somewhat with 16 runs coming off the final over. That's a beautiful shot down the ground, and it's going to soar over the head of the man at long on for the first maximum of the day. That's the skipper. That's Hamid Shah. That's glorious from him.
Fantastic shot. That will instill some confidence. He's gone up and he spoke to his partner at the other end. Nice shot.
It was full. It was into the slot and utilising the slog sweep. And even though there was a man out at long on, he decided that he'd take him on. He'd back himself to hit through the line of the ball. The slog sweep went square of the man at long on for a fantastic 6. A break and play with the ball flying down onto the artificial surface.
We actually saw a lot of reverse sweeps yesterday. It kind of hinted that maybe there wasn't a lot of turn on the wicket for the spinners. The batters were getting on top of the bowlers. So again, just speaking about lines, he needs to tighten that up because Hamid is very strong through that area.
Yeah, with this break and play, we'll go back and have a look at that points table we were just talking about. So the 2 results yesterday, the 2 sides on show, Denmark and Norway today, both played Jersey. And both of them went down to defeats. Norway a very heavy one, they lost by 80 runs. Only able to muster 80 with the bat after a strong innings led by Stevens and Jenner. Posted 160 for Jersey, they were bowled all out for 80. Denmark went down by 18 runs, but both sides losing to the league leaders at the moment, Jersey, yesterday. Yeah, good batting this from Hamid Shah, just clips that one into the leg side, and they're going to come back for a really quickly run too. Hamid Shah will have to get on the afterburners. He does. That's good running.
Really good running, good communication, and they really committed to it. It was good feeling as well.
Full again, driven pleasingly by Shah, but no run there. It's going to end the 3rd over. Denmark move now to 17 for none. Be pleased with this start after winning the toss and batting first. Let's take a look at their lineup. Who else did you think performed well with the bat yesterday, Ciara? Certainly wasn't a dominant innings from their batters. Ahmed and Hashmi making some runs down the order.
They did, yeah. I think they were, if I'm being honest, I think Denmark were a little bit surprised by the Jersey team they came across yesterday. The fall of wickets kind of showed that they couldn't settle. Jersey stuck to their lines and had a really good game plans to take on the Danes. So they'll be looking to really, really fix this today and put up a big total.
Yeah, Ahmed and Hashmi put on a partnership of more than 50. Really, the game was all over in the first 8 overs. 36 for 6 in that chase of Jersey's total of 130.
Yeah, I think a big thing that I've seen this week is the 1s and 2s. They have to keep on getting them because there hasn't been a huge amount of boundaries from what I've seen. So they need to really capitalise on that. And when the field spread, push.
Nicely bowled, well dug out by legs guard down towards the 3rd man. You've seen that across the college field as well. It's been some naive batting at times, really, either looking for 6s or blocking. Very little in between, not finding the gaps, not looking for 1s and 2s.
Totally, and again, just when the 6 overs bowl and the power play's over, there's gaps everywhere, and these guys need to just soft hands, drop and run. It's very simple when you say it that way.
Yeah, plenty of gaps in the field, but sides looking to capitalise on just 2 fielders being allowed outside the 30-yard circle in this First 6 overs of power play. Into the leg side, big appeal. Mary Waldron remains unmoved. That one looked to be going down leg to me, Ciara.
Yeah, I think so. And you can tell also by the way the batter moved. Lots of pressure being put on the umpire there. Ball going slightly down leg.
You played a lot of cricket with Mary Waldron over the years. She wouldn't succumb to any sort of pressure from overzealous appealing or anything?
Absolutely not. She's a true redhead.
Nicely bowled again by Sheikh. And for those of you watching who don't know who Mary Waldron is, she's a dual international as well. Played soccer for Ireland and now has gone on to represent her country with great distinction with the gloves behind the stumps.
Absolutely, Mary, and she played hockey at quite a good level as well, and I believe she could have played rugby. Anything she does, she's a natural sports person. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good batting from Hamid Shah. Just opening the face of the bat, letting it run straight off the face down for a single. Speaking to Jeremy Bray, the Danish coach this morning, he was really disappointed with his side's efforts yesterday. He said the pressure of these events and perhaps having a rain off in game one just leading to a little bit of a being caught cold in their opening match of the tournament yesterday.
Yeah, I feel that they were caught off guard. They weren't expecting what the team that they were facing. And it was clear that Jersey had done their homework on the Danes and they were ready for them.
Hit powerfully down the ground, but he does pick out mid-on. They'll get through for a single with a slight fumble in the field. Lesgard looking to be positive, but just picking the fielders at the moment.
Absolutely, a little fumble, and they've got to take that single. He's sitting back close on the circle there. You've got to keep on building the scoreboard.
Yeah, just 3 runs from that over. 4 overs gone now. Denmark 20 for none. In this Nordic derby at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final 2019. 6 countries here this week. They're all fighting it out for just one place at the Men's T20 World Cup Global Qualifier, which will be held out in the UAE. We heard the Jersey captain talking about it yesterday, what that would mean to him and his country. They got that qualification spot back in 2015. But they're going to have to come up against a serious challenge from Italy, Germany and indeed Denmark, I suspect, who we'll see on show here today. Guernsey, the only side of the 6 out of the reckoning at the moment.
Yeah, it's a tough competition, and you can see the nerves from day one, and even again here this morning on display. It's not easy, and especially T20. You have to, from the word go, it's not even play yourself in. It's stressful.
We're going to see a change in bowling, and this is the moment I was waiting for. Hayatullah Niazi has been held back from the new ball today, perhaps to give the 18-year-old tearaway quick a little bit more control, but really enjoyed watching him against Italy in their opening game for Norway. Could see some fireworks here. Nicely played by Lesgard into the leg side just for the single. It's Gary doing the fielding and a bit deep mid-wicket. How did Niazi go yesterday? Did Jersey get after him?
He came on from this end first of all, and he bowled a couple of overs. He bowled a little bit short and they got after him, and then from the far end he finished with a strong over. Again, myself and Ian spoke about it. We felt that just maybe the captain could have went over to him and spoke a little bit more on his game plans instead of just allowing him to bowl the short ball. They got on top of him.
Just 18 years of age, a powerful hitter with the bat as well. I saw that towards the tail end of Norway's innings against Italy, where he cleared the ropes a couple of times. Talented young cricketer, this man. Beautifully bowled, beats Hamid Shah for pace outside the off stump. Amazing story, Norwegian cricket, Ciara. All their clubs based around Oslo. 68 clubs in 7 divisions. They don't have a single turf wicket in the country, so give you a little bit of an idea of the challenges that they face coming over and playing on new surfaces.
Absolutely.
Good pace again, well bowled. And Hamid Shah can only underedge that, bounces up over his stumps. All of this Norwegian side, they made their T20 international debuts this week. Good decision for the ICC to grant status for all these matches.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge learning curve, and you can see even their approach today. They've more energy in the field. There's more movement off the ball. and they'll only get better throughout the tournament.
Beautifully bowled, but hammered over the offside. Taking the aerial route, Hamid Shah. That one's going to be a boundary for. Really good batting from the Danish captain. Beautiful action, Niazi. He really almost looks a little bit like a Mohamed Amir or someone.
Yeah, he bowls really, really nice. Again, that ball just a little bit wide, just not allowing him to free his hands. Nice shot. No fielder out there at the moment. Still only in the 4th over.
Yeah, just a little bit too much width, Kira. You're spot on. Allowing Shah to free his arms. Into the pads this time. Shah's going to be disappointed to miss out on that one. Can only find an inside edge. In fact, he hasn't found an inside edge. Straight off the thigh pad. Umpire signalling leg by.
Again, the young bowler is learning as he goes. He's trying to pull the ball back, try something different, and he has got a right hand left hand combo here, so it's a challenge for him. But he seems to be bowling much better than he was yesterday, which he didn't bowl bad yesterday, by the way. Just to clear that up.
Hit again powerfully, and Legsgaard continues to find every fielder in the ground. It's going to end the 5th over. Denmark 26 for none. Time for a bit of a change of the commentary position. I'll pass over to my Celtic cousin, Ian Leggett.
Well, Kira, it's good to be here again. How are you?
Really good. Some runs on the board, no wickets, 26 off 5.
Absolutely. It's good to see the captain, Nikolai Lausgaard, putting in a partnership here. But what a glorious day we have in front of us.
Fantastic day.
Absolutely stunning blue skies. Puts everyone in a good mood around the ground. The KG5 and the Scandinavian derby in front of us. Denmark versus Norway. What's not to love?
Have you noticed a difference in the Norway team today?
I have. Well, it's one thing we spoke about yesterday was just attitude and temperament. We've noticed it, and hearing Andrew speak a little bit in the last 5 overs about what separated Jersey apart, and we've watched Jersey in all 3 of their games sitting at the top of the table, and it's been their attitude around the ground right from the off, arriving, the way they train and practice and warm up, their attitude in the field, and Norway just seem to have a bit more drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheikh comes in again. And that's hit well. Struck on, and it's going to be 4, and it's a 1 bounce 4 there. A wonderful shot.
Great shot again. He's highlighted, he's noticed, should I say, that there's no deep square out. They've got a deep fine leg. And again, the line is off, so it's just placed straight into Hamid's strengths. They've really set up an offside field here. A strong offside field, so he needs to get his lines right or he's going to be hit.
Denmark to be making use of the power play here in the early stages of the game. And that's played gently. Just behind him. He's going to pop down a fine leg. Picked up. Well, it was very good to see this opening partnership getting on the way. We know the ability that their captain Shah has with the ball after taking 4 wickets yesterday. He did score some runs, picking up 16 off his 14 balls faced. He moves on to 20. Nikolai Lausgaard here on 5. 26 for none. That's our scorecard will update. And that's pitched short there. And he's struck that well. Pulls that, but there is a man there.
I think that actually worked out in his favour that he didn't connect with that properly. He could have been sailing into that fielder's hands at a kind of cow corner position.
Well, I was just doing a little reading actually on the history of cricket in Denmark, and certainly myself, I was a bit surprised when I found out these two sides had cricket teams with such a lot of pedigree. That's a beautiful bit of bowling there, but he just clips that on to the leg side there, and it's collected by the fielder there. They grab another single, 32 for nothing here in the 6th over. I was actually reading that Danish fairy tale author, the famous Hans Christian Andersen, The Little Mermaid, The Snow Queen, obviously Frozen. He actually mentions cricket in one of his diaries from 1857. He was playing cricket, visiting Charles Dickens of all people. He gives him a bit more of the full toss there, and that's again played onto his leg side, picked up nicely there and mid-wicket. And they just collect a good single there, and I love that. I love that. The famous Hans Christian Andersen, the Danish hero, I'm sure is my... I have a flatmate who's Danish and very patriotic with all the flags around the flat. She'll be happy to hear that her favourite author was a fan of the game of cricket. That's just pushed forward there. Again, just played nicely. Just on the onside. Well,
if they're going to set a circle field here, and especially having a lot of their fielders, I suppose, on the offside, they can't give away those singles there. Walking in with the bowler, just simple things like that, they have to keep moving. Again, they've just slowed down a little bit here in their approach, Norway. I'd like to see more energy about, because when they're energetic, it brings on wickets and it puts the Danes under pressure.
Well, this seems to be a common theme of the last 2 days of cricket here at the KGV ground for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals. There's the attitude by the players. Kira, you've alerted to us, well, myself many times, and the viewers, the importance of communication between the batsmen.
Absolutely, and fielders. It's building up pressure. Keep talking, and your body language as well is a big play.
Well, looks like we're going to have a change of bowling here from the 3G end. We're going to see Saeed Wakas Ahmed making his first appearance with the ball. It's an absolutely stunning day, pardon me, in Guernsey, as I mix up my words. It's nice to watch a bit of cricket. It was what's meant to be a rest and reserve day. International cricket here in Guernsey. And that's just played a late cut there. Picked up by the man at point, but just fumbles the ball slightly, as the batsman managed just to secure an easy single there. It could have been tighter than the batsman may have wanted if that was a clean pickup. A little late off the mark.
Here's now, it's just the field has been spread. They need to get this right, so the Danish team is just not picking up singles as they go.
Well, it's the end of the power play, and they really have spread the field round. Long on, long off. Deep square leg. A deep cover point, Kieran, I'm seeing.
Wide ball. Again, the right hand, left hand combo, as we've called it, definitely playing its part here.
Well, a nice start to Ahmed. Struck hard, and that's going to find the fielder there. That long off, collected well, and ball in, just a single there. As Lausgaard moves on to 8. The total now 39 for nothing, no loss here in the 7th over at the KGV. I've chatted to you yesterday about this, Kira, but the impact the weather plays mentally on a cricketer. Just plays a late cut there. Fielded by the man at fly slip, and again, just a tight little run him. Laid off the mark again is Captain Shah. Just trying to go for that single, but Nikolai Lausgaard keen to keep the clock ticking over here. As a player, when you see blue skies above you, does that make a difference?
It can. It definitely can. I just think, again, going back to the fielding positions, they shouldn't be getting singles.
Struck hard, well, he tries to, and he's appeal there for a stomping, but Lausgaard has stuck firm. His leg back. It's Denmark. Well, Norway looking to get their first strike here. There is a definite different approach in the attitude. Andrew was saying at the start of this game, a must win for both sides, you must think. If they are looking to get anything from this tournament. Hit hard onto the leg side, up and over. That's going to go bounce fielder. Well, almost well fielded there on the boundary, but that one just bounces over for 4. Nikolai went hard. Lofted drive. Puts another 4 onto his scorecard.
I think the bowler bowling wides up front has put a little bit of added pressure onto himself. You can even see in his action, he's got a little bit tentative. He needs to just relax and finish his action.
Driven hard down the ground, and that's going to find the fielder there at long on. And just a single. Nikolai Lausgaard looks in the mood to have a couple big hits at the end of that over. Score 45 for nothing after 7 overs.
Yeah, and I suppose yesterday we did highlight that Norway's strength is definitely their batting. So these two, the Danish guys, seem to be settling in. There's nothing really troubling them at the moment, and just, if I was their captain, I'd be mixing the bowling up as much as possible. Try not let them settle, and also then the wicketkeeper needs to drive the energy in the field here.
Well, the Norwegian side yesterday came up against a Jersey side looking to make it 3 wins from 3 in the afternoon fixture here in the Europe finals. When they came up to bat, here the Jersey side full of spark, drive and energy. Pretty comprehensive victory.
So each innings would be timed, and they would have a certain amount of time to bowl their overs, but again they're going to really push it again here today because they're just not changing the field quick enough. The left hand right hand combo, and it will all add up, so they might find themselves having to rush around later on.
Driven hard. It's going to find the fielder there. Just collected. Deep extra cover.
Feel this batter, just his back leg, it breaks a little, and it allows his shoulders to open up, and he's just not getting the connection he wants on the ball. Obviously he's 20 foot tall as well.
He is a very, he's got a lot of height about him. Well, I can imagine the rivalry between these two Scandinavian teams. Quite intense. Again, driven hard. That's going to find the fielder there again at deep extra cover and collected well. Pardon me, my mistake. It was Cal Cornell the last time. My fielding positions mixed up. Well, this batting partnership closing in on 50 here. What a start this is by the Danes. Again, just pushed along. Fielder there at long on. Going to collect that. And just pushing a single. Danish batsman happy again, just to keep alternating the strike and forcing these Norwegian fielders to collect the ball.
Good movement off the ball, guys getting around off the boundary, backing up. Much better today.
And that's just gently played there. Just a square drive. Well, this is all part of the qualification pathway to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in 2020. An incredible opportunity for these teams. And again, really nice drive there. Just going to be picked up by the man at deep cover. Just to stop the boundary. And again, just rotating the strike. Happy to see singles. Run rate currently sitting at 6.26. And over. Danish batsman really settling in right now, Kira.
Absolutely, very elegant shot. And again, but they're not troubling them. They need to just pick up their energy.
Driven hard, and that's going to go for 6, I think. What a wonderful straight drive, up and over by Nikolai Lausgaard. Collects another maximum in the day, and that's the 50 partnership up for the Danish side.
Really nice shot. Again, pressure is taken off them. There was 11 off the over. My bad, sorry, I'm getting caught up here. But really, really good batting. Get no pressure on the Danish guys, and let's see what the response is from Norway.
Well, 55 for nothing after 8 overs here. This is looking like a different Danish side to what we saw yesterday. These are the Europe finals here in Guernsey. This is the KGV ground. So we just take a look at the batting statistics so far and the scorecard. And what a start this is by the two openers for Denmark, 21 and 31 respectively. And only the 3 extras by the Norwegian bowlers.
Yeah, and I feel they could go up another gear. Run rate at the moment is 6.88. They're really staying with it. But I think that they've another gear completely here that they could go up. And I'm sure they're going to be looking to do that in the next few overs.
Well, 4 bowlers used already. Failure to find a wicket. Nearing on that 10 over mark. Not getting wickets in T20 cricket. That is a big issue. And the biggest thing, that their economy rates are all 5 and above. What does the captain do in this situation then?
I'm actually interested to see what's going on. I think there might be a ball change here. Umpires are meeting in the middle.
Well, ball change can happen for a number of reasons in cricket.
It's definitely hit side screen and it's been down on the football pitch as well. So I'm not sure if it got it damaged.
Well, the umpires like to keep having a look at the balls just to make sure that it's up to the standards. They also have a box of balls, various different shapes and sizes, and wears and tears in them, just to make sure it's a fair playing ground. Umpire Kearns and umpire Waldron clearly making use of that box there. It's going to see a new bowler here. What was a fantastic entity over there. Very strong shot by Nikolai Lausgaard for 6. Up and over the top. Straight drive. You're just tuning in here, Denmark. On the toss. Selected the bat here at the KG5 ground. That's a late cut there. Played very nicely. Going to be collected by the man at point. A bit more athletic fielding now. As you said, the fielders are a bit more energy about them. Suddenly the drinks breaks happened, and they'll be keen to get a strike here. Pardon me, that's a terrible sentence. They'll be keen to strike and get that first wicket. Well, Lausgaard trying to go big again there, but just mistiming his shot. Just falls to the man. An extra cover.
He's just giving a little bit more flight there, trying to encourage the batter to play a shot and maybe bring on the wicket. Hamid has come down and they've had a conversation, and I like that.
Big shot again, but there might be a fielder there, long on. Caught, and they've got the first wicket here. 56 for 1 now, Denmark. He went for the big shot.
He did, and again, he flighted it up. The field was set well, and the fielder underneath the ball was balanced and watched the ball into his hands. Really, really nice cricket.
It's a difficult skill, actually, catching on the boundary, isn't
completely.
it?
And you just think, oh, it's a ball in the air. Yeah, I'm going to catch it really easy. It has pressure on it.
Have you dropped a couple?
We all have.
What a nice evasion there. What a lovely evasion. Well, that's the first wicket. And after the drinks break, we did say there was a different attitude. But Nikolai Lausgaard keen to push on. Wonderful knock. As we see the new batsman coming in for Denmark, all in red.
Again, that could have been a conversation with the two batters. They might have decided to just let's push on a little. 56 for 1 after 8 is absolutely fine. I do think they have more. They have definitely a few more gears.
Well, as we see the new batsman come in here.
Again, just going back to the flight again. Lenny said earlier on as well, a lot of the spinners now, for kind of security, would use the wicket and push it through a little bit faster. That's fine, but then you want to also give it a little bit of flight, bring it to play your mid on, mid off, and try bring in a wicket.
Well, Baharaj, the new batsman in, but it's going to be Shah facing here. Plays a wonderful cut shot there, well balanced, collected, really well fielded there at point. Just stops probably a certain 2. And now Baharaj going to be facing his first ball of the game. Ahmed.
Looks like he's landed awkwardly on his elbow.
Yeah, we do see him here, just taking a moment's pause. Tossing himself around.
Might have to send for the water. You know, the physio brings out water and it fixes everything.
Who knows what's in that water bottle. Wow, Ahmad. Looks like Baharaj is doing his David Warner impression here, fixing his gloves up. Just making sure everything's right as he has a look around the field. He's got a deep square leg out there. Plays the cut shot again. Well balanced once again by the batsman, picked up at point. Just another single. That's a nice way to get off the mark. Confident stroke.
Nice shot again. I'm just going to highlight the field. I just think maybe they just need to move around.
And that's driven nicely down the ground. Gonna find the fielder there at mid-off. And just another single onto the scorecard. 59 for 1 at the end of the 9th over. Well, Norway got that wicket they were looking for.
There's some singles at the moment being linked, should I say, in the inner circle, and maybe I just feel that maybe the point there just needs to come a little bit backwards, or a little bit in front, should I say, and stop that single. Build pressure, help the bowler, try bring on the next wicket. They've done some really good work here up front, Norway. I'd like to see them build on it.
Now, the bowler's going to be bowling from the hotel end here at the KG5 ground. I was practicing my pronunciation of what this is actually called. Beauvoir, I think, is it? Kira's shaking her head.
We've spoke about this. I'm not even going to try.
You will. By the end of this tournament, Kira, you will be saying.
It's that end and this end.
I love the accuracy in that statement. That's what this is all about. Well, it's a Scandinavian clash here. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe finals here at the KG5 ground. Norway looking to strike again. And that's just played lovely. Great use of the wrist there. Just plays it onto the leg side. Fielder comes in from deep mid wicket there just to collect the ball.
Nice fielding.
And well run again.
Yeah, good movement today off the ropes. Really good. Good running between the wickets as well.
It's a new day. Sun is shining, and they're really both teams requiring a victory. Well, they could be sitting at the bottom of the table. 2 losses from 2. Not what you want when you've only got 5 games to play. Driven hard, but that finds the fielder there. That mid-off really well stops. That looked like that was going to be flying towards the boundary. Hit hard by the batsman.
Hit very hard, and you can see he's rubbing his hands. Good stop.
That's my least favourite thing when playing cricket, is when that ball comes in, you get a wee stinger on the hands.
And then it follows you for the next 20 overs.
Well, followed me for the next week. Played well, it's a better ball there from the bowler. Iqbal just adding a bit more pace onto it, just forcing the batsman onto his back foot there. Playing a solid defensive stroke. And that's a lovely, again, use of the wrist. Just plays it onto the leg side. Collected by the fielder there. A deep mid wicket and just a single. Score moves on to 63 for 1. Wow, what a difference a night's sleep makes. This is a completely different Norwegian side we're watching right now. And again, a completely different approach to the batting from the Danish. Gives a bit more of a fuller delivery there. Again, just played onto the leg side, a bit more square. Rolls along the ground and collected by the fielder. A deep square leg. Another single onto the scorecard, 64 for 1 now.
Sometimes it does take a match to get into the tournament.
Again, fuller delivery, comes down the crease. That's going to find the fielder there at long off. And they're going to run 2 here. Really good running there from the Danish batsman. And that's been well received by the men on the pavilion. On the Danish side, they've got their Danish flag sitting proudly above their heads at the pavilion there. As they grab another 2. And that's the end of the over. And that sparks the end of Kira and myself. We'll another change up in the commentary box as Andrew returns alongside ICC Development Officer Esther DeLong.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. And thank you, Kira. And delighted to be joined for the first time this week by a very special guest, as Ian said. Esther DeLange, the ICC Development Officer for the Europe region. Esther, a little bit less stressed, the sun is out.
Yes, the sun is out. It's looking lovely here at KG5. It's a phenomenal day of cricket.
Yeah, we see a wide signal there, a leg spin. Mohammed just drifting down the leg side. Esther, tell us a bit about your role. It spans right across all of Europe, men's, women's, youth cricket, everything.
Yeah, so I'm I'm the development officer for Europe, which it kind of encompasses the development of cricket. I work directly with countries on helping them to grow the game, improve their structures internally, supporting them with the coordination of umpire and coach education, for instance, yeah, trying to push their cricket forward as much as I can.
Hamid Shah looks for the big smash down the wicket, but he's gone. Beautifully flighted by Ahmed, beats him through the air, and the Danish skipper has to go for 40. Umpire Mary Waldron had no hesitation at square leg, getting the finger up. Sharp piece of work behind the stumps by Khizr Ahmed. So a wicket made by the Ahmeds. Bowled by Saeed Ahmed. Stumped by Khizr Ahmed. That's the second wicket to fall. That's exactly what Norway wanted and needed, just as Denmark were threatening to get away from them a little bit. Beautifully bowled there, Esther.
Yeah, definitely. It was looking to come down the ground to smash it, to try and get the run rate up a bit, but well taken by the keeper. Take the bails off quickly. It's probably a big breakthrough for the Norwegians.
Yeah, starting to see the pitches turn a little bit. This is the third use of this wicket in what is supposed to be a rest and reserve day. So the wicket's starting to turn with the sun coming out, and Denmark won't mind that because they've got virtually an all-spin attack. Lots of spinners in their side. So Esther, tell us, you're not just the development officer for Europe, but you have a special relationship with these Nordic countries as well.
Yes, I'm the relationship manager for the entire Nordic region. So that includes the countries that are playing right now, Norway and Denmark, as well as Sweden and Finland. And that means that myself, I'm a bit more involved with them, and I give them more support. I've visited both of these countries that are on the field right now a couple of times in the last 2 years, and I've got a visit lined up with Finland and another one to Sweden as well at the end of this year.
Powered down the ground, going to be a boundary, maybe not a boundary. Mid off comes round, long off comes round and does the fielding. That is one of our two shirtless players today, so I think that's Ishan Shah in at number 4. Two of the Danish players without numbers on their back. Esther, you come from a playing background, you represented Netherlands women with great aplomb over more than a decade.
Yeah, I made my debut in 2005 for the Netherlands, and I played through until 2016, where I played my last games against Scotland in the regional qualifier there. And then when I joined ICC, I gave up playing for my country.
How you found that transition from playing to administration and working in development?
Well, giving up playing is never an easy decision because it's something that you've worked hard for and committed a lot of time and energy to. But I felt the opportunity to make a difference off the field and support these countries with their development was a worthy cause to commit my time to. So it's been a good transition. I'm still playing occasionally some club cricket when I can, but work takes over most of the time.
Big full toss hammered into the deep by Barrage. That's going to be a boundary. One bounce and running away for 4. Poor delivery really from Ahmed. The full toss just over pitching and powerfully struck into the deep. That ends the 11th over. Denmark move to 76 for 2 after 11. I'm here chatting to Esther de Lange, the ICC development officer for the Europe region. And Esther, the potential for the growth of the sport in Europe in particular really seems very strong. We saw a sub-regional qualifier last year with 18 countries, 6 very fine sides on show here, and of course you've got the bigger European nations then of the Netherlands and Scotland as two of the leading associates in the test nations of England and Ireland.
Yeah, the potential is massive, and we've seen a big growth in the Nordic region as well as Germany, especially. We know there's huge potential in certain countries around Europe, where the growth has been phenomenal in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we're just going to see Raza Iqbal, the left arm captain, left arm spinner. He's going to actually operate around the wicket, try and tuck up Khan. It is Delaware Khan that's coming at number 4, not Ishan Shah, the shirtless Danes, confusing me here just a tiny bit, Esther. We'll have to speak to the ICC about some regulations on that. And Raza Iqbal just changing his field, 3 men in the deep on the leg side. Deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket and a long on. It's going to be out towards one of those fielders who's at deep mid wicket. He's got work to do. And a really good stop in the deep by Junaid Sheikh out at deep mid wicket. Denmark will have been disappointed to lose yesterday. One of the favourites perhaps coming into this competition.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be looking to put up a big score today to get some confidence, and for the rest of the competition, they've come in as favourites. They're the highest ranked out of all the teams here, and they were very strong in the competition last year as well. So they would have definitely been disappointed, and they've come out with a point to prove.
I'm just going to cut you off there because that's a mighty blow into the deep. The tactic of coming around the wicket for Iqbal isn't working to the left-hander because that's simply smashed into the leg side. It dissects the two fielders, flies onto the bank. And that's a maximum to really get this Danish innings going. They need to bounce back with a win today.
Yeah, they need a win, and they need a big one. This run rate could be the difference in winning or losing in the grand scheme of things.
We've so often seen in what is essentially this week a World Cricket League format, 6 sides playing each other 1 game each. So the 5 matches, quite often it would have been 2 promotion spots, but in this instance it's only 1 side that can advance to the global qualifier. So it's really going to be coming right down to the wire, down to that final day on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's all to play for. They need to get their net run rate up to catch up to Jersey and Italy especially, who've now got 3 wins out of 3. Jersey's looking pretty comfortable on top there with a healthy net run rate. So they'll be looking to make the most of this opportunity to put on a big score and turn over the Norwegians.
It's beautiful use of the feet by Taranjeet Barrage. Comes down the track, hits it through extra cover and quick between the wickets. We spoke earlier in the week about how the Danish team prides himself on their athleticism and their fitness. You can see that between the wickets. A really good quick double from Barrage there. Down the track again, likes to use his feet, the diminutive middle order strokeman from Denmark. Tell us a little bit about not just the granting of T20 international status to all the associates that are member nations of the ICC, but also these T20 international rankings, Esther.
It means a lot to the countries. It's been a big factor in them getting high profile domestically and getting some exposure with their local government. They can now go to their local authorities and say we're ranked, 30th in the world, which is pretty good for any country to be ranked in the top 40. So that's given them a lot of exposure and a lot of leverage with their governments and local authorities.
They need to play a minimum number of matches to get onto that T20 international rankings table, but Norway will do that this week, come in to the rankings.
Yes, they will be ranked at the end of this event. They played 5 matches last year, which counted towards their status, and they've played a 6th match this week. So they now have the requisite number of matches to be on the rankings table, and that includes Italy as well. We're now going to be on the rankings table.
Yeah, so Denmark were the highest ranked of those countries, ranked 24th in the world in T20 international cricket. So we see the off breaks return, and he's going to grant a wicket immediately to Norway. Such misfortune there for Barrage. He looked to open the face, came off an inside edge, bounced up and just clipped the bail of the off stump. So that's the 3rd wicket for Norway. Coming back into the game just as that partnership between Khan and Barrage was starting to look threatening. Norway fighting for their tournament lives here. Remember, if they lose today, they will go out of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe final. Denmark too, absolutely essential they get a win today. Just talk to you about those other T20 rankings. Jersey ranked 26th, Germany in 34th and Guernsey in 35th, so all very tight, but a lot of these European sides higher up the table.
Yeah, it's encouraging to see. They've done very well, especially in the T20 format, played on a regular basis and done well in international competitions. So it's very encouraging to see this many European sides ranked in the top 40. I expect when the rankings changes come through with both Italy and Norway, that they will be probably in the top 40 as well. So that's looking very healthy for Europe. And obviously we can't exclude the other European countries. The Netherlands, Scotland, and Ireland are obviously ranked quite high as well. So it's looking healthy for Europe.
Yeah, Scotland 12th, Netherlands 14th, and Ireland languishing in 15th, the Test nation, my home country. They'll be looking to improve that this year. Plenty of T20 international cricket lined up for Ireland leading up to what will be the ICC T20 World Cup Global Qualifier held in the UAE, and all three of those sides, Scotland, Ireland and the Netherlands, automatically progress to that point of the qualification pathway.
Yeah, they will be in the global qualifier in the UAE. So the team that wins this week will join then in the UAE, and yeah, that should be a very strong competition.
Powered into the deep, that's going to fly all the way for 6. Real power from Delaware Khan. It was a bit of a drag down long hop, but it was hammered into the deep by the man with no shirt on his back. Power from him, impressive stuff from the Danes.
Yeah, Denmark, they will be looking to accelerate. They've got a couple of overs left in this game, so they're looking to get a big score, probably, what should it be, 170, you reckon?
Yeah, moved to 95 for 3 in the 13th over. I think Jeremy Bray, their head coach, is going to be looking for a total well in excess of 160. The high score of the week, 160, that Jersey made yesterday against Norway. It's very ground, and it's hammered into the sky again. There's a man comes in at long on. It's going to be a case of 6 and out from Delaware Khan. That's not going to please Jeremy Bray. Really brave bowling by Prithvi Bharat, because he threw it into the sky again, tossed it up, tempted Delaware Khan, who hit it down the throat of the fielder, who I think is Junaid Sheikh at long on.
Yeah, that's a shame from him. He was doing well there. 17 of 7 balls. That's pretty quick innings from him.
Yeah, and just a little bit of concern for the Danish camp, because 2 wickets in the over leaves them 95 for 4. They showed some of the batting frailties that they have in their lineup, so they will be looking to make sure they take this innings deep whilst trying to get past that record total of Jersey for the week so far. He had 160 against Norway yesterday. Esther, can I ask you a little bit about the women's qualifiers next week? So an interesting pathway for them. 3 sides will go down to La Manga in Spain, with not just T20 World Cup qualification at stake, but also Women's World Cup.
Yeah, it's a double qualifier, so there's 2 qualification spots at stake, one for the 50 over pathway and one for the T20 pathway. There's Scotland has pre-qualified in the T20 pathway since they are hosting the global qualifier in September. So they are only looking to qualify for the 50 over pathway from this particular event. And all 3 teams are looking for qualification for the 50 over, and the Netherlands and Germany will be trying to qualify for that last spot in the T20 global qualifier.
Yeah, that T20 global qualifier is going to be hosted by Scotland at the end of August. Beautifully bowled by Prithvi Bharat to finish his spell. He's going to finish with 4 overs, 2 for 29. He's just dragged Norway back into the game a touch with the 2 wickets in the over. Let's take a quick look at the batting card. Hamid Shah, who's appearing on your graphics, is Hamid Mazar, his middle name. 40 off 40, leading the way with Nikolai Lesgaard. 96 for 4 after 13, so a good run rate up towards 7.5 and over, but a little bit of concern for Jeremy Bray, because 4 wickets have fallen. Plenty of batting to come though for Denmark. Denmark have played just 1 match in this tournament so far, so they're going to need to get winning and on the winning trail. Need 2 points here today against their Nordic rivals. You're going to see one of the stars of the tournament for me so far, Hayatul Niazi, come back into the attack now. Tell us a little bit about this young man, please, Esther.
Yeah, Hayatullah, he's a very, very talented young cricketer. He's 18 years old, former Afghani refugee, came to Norway and is now living there permanently. And he's done very well so far for Norway. he was the standout player last year in the under-17s qualifier, because he was 17 at the time, and and he made his debut for Norway in the sub-regional qualifier in the Netherlands at the age of 17, bowling some serious pace. So very, very good from him. I think he's on the radar to be picked up by a county. He's had a trial with Essex, I believe, this week. So it's very exciting for him as a player, but for Norway as well, to have one of their young stars be recognised in that way.
Tell us a bit more about cricket in Norway. It's mainly based around the Oslo region, something over 60 clubs there.
Yeah, there's over 60 clubs. There's most of the players are based around Oslo, but there's a few pockets around in Stavanger and Trondheim as well. I actually visited Stavanger last year when they played their national T20 final there, actually, which was broadcast on national television as well. So very exciting development for Norwegian cricket to get on national TV and to spread the game to new regions. I met some fantastic people there who's so passionate about the game and passionate about growing it. So it's looking very exciting for their future, definitely.
Remarkably, though, they don't have any grass wickets, any turf pitches. The climate isn't very conducive to it.
No, it really isn't. I visited Norway in April last year, and there was still snow on the ground. So you can imagine for any groundsman trying to prepare a turf wicket for the season, it would be practically impossible to do so with the climate that they have at the moment. But the ambition is there for them to progress. They're working on securing more grounds. They only have 6 grounds for those 60 clubs at the moment, but they're working very hard with local authorities to secure more grounds where they can play their club cricket and really develop for the future.
Good pace from Niazi, big appeal, looks like it's come off the pad. Umpire Mary Waldron unmoved correctly. Really good take behind the stumps. It's Khizr Ahmed, we've seen him take one catch already today. Good pace this from Hayatullah Niazi. I reckon the 3 quickest bowlers in show this week. You're seeing one of them, Hayatullah Niazi, and then the 2 tearaway quicks for Germany, Craig Machete. And of course the former Afghan international, Izzatullah Dalwatsai. Plenty of pace on show. No shortage of skill at this, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final. Really good bowling. Direct hit would have been out. Complete mix-up in the running between the wickets, and he didn't know where he was going. He just walked halfway down the crease. Niazi had all 3 stumps to aim at, and he's got a big smile on his face. He can't believe he's missed with the throw. I think he not only tried to throw down the stumps, he tried to knock it all the way down to the 4G pitch, Esther.
Yes,
the exuberance of youth there on show.
Yeah, and he's handy with the bat as well, which is not to be underestimated. He comes in and tries to hit it hard for Norway. He had a few good performances last year, and I think this year he showed again that he's quite a hard-hitting batsman in the middle order. So very exciting talent for Norway.
All-round talent without doubt, and how Raza Iqbal, his captain, must love having that at his disposal. He's going to bring himself back into the attack though after the end of 4 overs of off spin. So Raza Iqbal will come on from the 4G end. Might just have a really quick chance to sneak in a couple of the bowling figures for you to have a look at on your screen. Yeah, Prithvi Bhart's off breaks took 2 for 29. Ahmed the only other wicket taker with 2 for, but Raza Iqbal's been expensive so far. 2 overs, none for 19. So he's going to need to try and tighten up, get his side back into the game. 100 coming up in the 14th over. You'd have to think Denmark on top, but a crucial 6 over period now to end in this Nordic derby. I'm here talking with Esther De Lange, the ICC Development Officer for Europe, and really exciting times for the sport. How do you feel this week has gone? Have you been impressed by the cricket on show?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen an improvement in the performances from last year. I think that the standard has gone up, especially the fielding has been absolutely phenomenal. I think we've highlighted a couple of stunning catches and some very quick run-outs, which have made a real difference in the games. So that's been very encouraging to see. we've been told by the countries as well that the intensity's gone up with T20I and the standard has gone up. So everyone's feeling it. It's heading in the right direction.
Is the main thing that a lot of these countries are looking for is exposure to more international cricket?
Absolutely, and that's what's happening now with T20I bilaterals coming in. They're playing each other more. It's a higher intensity game, and with qualification on the line for big events, that ups the intensity even more. So they work that much harder to get to the next level.
There's no doubt it will be a step up for whichever side qualifies this week, moving on to the global qualifier in the UAE in October. So we see a top edge there. Fortune for Rizwan Mahmood, just going to come back for 2 as he looked for the slog sweep. There'll be a step up in standard, but do you think whichever side qualifies from this Europe region will be able to acquit themselves well? Jersey 4 years ago winning 2 of their 6 group matches.
Yeah, we absolutely, and it's a step up in professionalism as well. But that's the consequence of going to the next level, and that's what they want, and that's what they're looking for out of these events. So we'll definitely see them do well next in the next stage, definitely.
Yeah, that's the thoughts of Esther De Lange, the ICC Development Officer for the Europe region. We thank her for her time juggling a million administrative duties, helping to organise the tournament with the team of Michael and Ed from ICC Europe. So many thanks to her. With the last 5 overs, the all action death overs will pass over to Kira Metcalf, who will be joined by Ian Leggett.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, as that ball's just pushed forward there and collected again by the bowler, Kira. Well, we've swapped seats for the first time. I'm sitting on the right, you're sitting on the left.
I don't know how I feel about this slight OCD.
Well, we'll change up, and I'll tell you what, the big change today is the gorgeous blue skies that we're seeing here at the KGV ground. Absolutely stunning day for a game of cricket.
Yeah, and it's building up nicely here for the last 5 overs. 106 for 4.
Well, a bit more pace there from the Aussie. He really is a young flying youngster. Andrew alluded to it earlier. Wonderful action. He looks like a kid. Maybe that's the wrong way to refer to him, but a youngster that has a lot of potential in the game of cricket.
Absolutely, and his team are fully behind him today, which is really nice to see. He's executing his skill very, very well.
Well, that's just pushed forward onto the leg side there. I'm going to be collected by the fielder at mid-wicket as the score moves on to 108 for 4. Well, it's good to hear the thoughts of Esther De Lange there, one of the development officers for ICC. And you're someone that's played a lot of cricket for Ireland. Seeing these European nations go from strength to strength, it's such a wonderful sight for cricket. And he just slows up his run there.
Just a dead ball. Absolutely, and there's more opportunity coming for all of the smaller countries, and as Esther said, the opportunity then, and just for them building, they're practicing at better levels as well. So when they come onto this level, it's an easier transition.
As he comes, and just pitched a short ball there, and that's what happens if we saw this a couple times yesterday. That ball's just going to roll for 4. If he doesn't quite get his length right with the pace he's bowling at, it's very easy for the batsman to pick it out like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also, just he didn't have a deep square, so the batter just was on top of the ball and well put away.
Well, I think they're going to move that fielder around. He was standing around deep mid wicket, but I think he's going to limber over to a more deep square leg position. There's a big gap behind him. It was a wonderful shot, just played off his hip. And that's a better length there from the Aussie. And they just run a single there, and I think he'll be happy with that. Now, the run rate has slowed down dramatically. At one point, discussions of 160 in the commentary box, but at the moment, I think they'll be impressed if they get to 150.
Absolutely, and they definitely have chance to. The field is spread. We spoke about them going up a gear, and we haven't actually seen this yet, although there has been a fall of wicket. Maybe because we left the tent.
Absolutely. I think we're the curse for the Danish side. And that ball again just pushed on nicely on the leg side, runs a single, collected at mid-wicket. Omens are a big thing in cricket, and as a former player, did you have any? Did you have to put on one pad before the other, or before you bowled? Did you have to maybe stroke your hair 4 times and kiss the air, run in a
Um,
little circle? I don't know.
No, I had underwear that had to be worn all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people with
That's a
different.
bit of a surprise. It wasn't the answer I was expecting, Kira.
Just being honest. No,
By all means.
there's a lot of people that have different quirky things. Maybe putting on their socks in certain ways, or
Who had the strangest one?
I don't want to give away too much because it's their thing.
It's all fair. It's all fair.
No.
As we see Iqbal lining up to bowl from the 3G end here at the KGV. Cricket is a weird and wonderful sport, isn't it? A full of delivery, but he comes down the crease and just straight drive there to mid-on. Just for the single. Well, there was a bit more intent behind the batsman there. They only have the 4 overs left, and they will be wanting to push on. Worry here, and I was thinking this in our little break. Norway, they've played their 2 games here, and it seemed easy for the sides to get over the 100 mark. As again, he tries a little flick there. It does bounce off him. I don't think it hit the bat. I think it hit almost the chest region there, as that just collected by the wicketkeeper. It must be concerning for the Norwegian coach if sides like Denmark and also sides like Jersey are heading towards scores of 150 with a bit of ease. And that is a big shot, but I think that could be caught long off. And it's well caught on the boundary, and that's another wicket for Norway. 115 for 5 now in this innings. Well, maybe we are the omen. Who knows?
No, it was actually a good shot. Unfortunately, it didn't reach the boundary, and well taken by the fielder. Again, you spoke about the run rate. It has slowed up a little, and I'm surprised by that with 4 overs to go, and they do have wickets in hand. I don't know if Denmark would really need to put some runs on the board here, because Norway seem to have upped their game, and they could do that again with the bat as well.
Well, we saw Norway get off to an absolutely flying start against Jersey when they were having to chase 160, needed 161 to win. 7 off the first over, 6 off the second. Then we saw Julius, I'm going to completely mispronounce his name here, but a young bowler for Jersey come in and get 2 wickets within the over. Julius Summerau, pardon me, as I just get his name there. He took a wicket on his first ball, then he took another one in the over, and suddenly the Norwegian side had a bit of a collapse and a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah, I think the Danish side need to push up near over 140 here, definitely.
Well, Norway have hit 150 in this tournament. Their opening game, they did hit 151 against Italy, and that's really well struck there, but finds the fielder an extra cover.
Again, lots of field moving.
Kind of coming in a deep backward point, it seems. Oh, we got a left-hander, pardon me. We're seeing lots of left-handers in this tournament. I don't think I've ever watched so many left-handed batsmen in my life.
It's clear today that Norway have done a bit of homework on Denmark. Field changes, setting it correctly for the left hand, right hand. It's just their lines a little bit have let them down on occasion, but that can be fixed.
Well, they have a deep square leg and deep mid-wicket in here. As Iqbal comes in. Let's just push forward back into the hands of the bowler. Well, Denmark be looking. And that's a very strong shot there, and I think that's going to miss the fielder at long off, but he's taken another catch. Really well caught on the boundary there. He had to balance himself on 1 foot, almost hopping as he took the catch there. And another wicket caught on the boundary.
Again, the spinner there opting to flight the ball up a little bit and bring on the shot, and well taken. I thought that the ball was going to sail over his head, and I would have been angry if he'd have been caught. How do I put this? If the fielder hadn't have been on the rope to take the catch.
Well, we had a bit of issues with that yesterday. Kira Metcalf, former Irish international, venting out her anger with some of the fielders standing on the boundary positions, maybe at long off. I think someone was at his deep extra cover maybe, and they weren't quite. They were a couple steps in. It is difficult, and we have alluded to this earlier in the broadcast. You know, fielding as one of these boundary receivers, it's no mean task.
Absolutely, and I think as a team you make a decision. You're either on the rope or not. And obviously there's reasonings behind. There's several different ways of looking at it, but if a catch sails over your head and if you'd have taken a step back, you'd be really, really angry as a bowler and as a captain.
Well, it was the right idea. for the batsmen to go for that. They do have wickets in hand and 3 overs left. They've got to push on to a score of at least 130 here. The Norwegians can be very dangerous with the bat, as we've seen early on in this tournament. But it is these pressure situations, the Europe final here. Needing a win to at least give them a chance in the competition. 2 losses from 2, almost immediately. The run of form that Jersey and Italy are on.
I think in some way Norway have actually pulled us back a little. There's huge pressure on these last few overs. I don't think 116 will worry Norway. Obviously they have to go get the runs, but they'd be quite happy going into the changing room now to discuss their batting plans. Denmark are in a little bit of trouble. They need to put on as many runs as they can in the last few overs.
Well, Tafsir Ali with the ball in hand now. From the boudoir end. I don't think that's correct, but it's
a good effort.
Thank you very much. And that's just gone over the head of the player there at mid-on. Collected a deep mid-wicket.
A nice underarm from the boundary.
Yeah, it's always nice to see that. Traditional. Reminds me of my primary school days. You know, when I was always, I'm honest to admit, I was always too afraid to do it overarm sometimes. Just because it's too strong, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ian.
Absolutely. No, I just had a very weak throw. That's just caught the ball over the run. That's a smart running there from the other batsman. Just sneaks in a single there. Well,
again, there is gaps. Norway will be happy with this, them taking singles. Pressure's on. You can see it in the Denmark camp as well. They're all up, they're getting their throwdowns, they're ready to go. T20 cricket is a funny thing. There can be so many wickets really, really quick.
I think you're right in saying that Norway have grabbed this game once again. The ebb and flow of T20 cricket on full display here. Well, let's just clip back to the keeper. They do run a single. Could be a run out if it was a direct hit. Oh, and the wicket keeper. Hands on head. He knew that was an opportunity. That's Abdul Hashmi.
Yeah, it's a wicket and also a dot ball if he hits that stump.
Pardon me, that's Kaiser Ahmed. So I get my two sides mixed up. Another mistake in the commentary box by myself. Run of form bad. Well, here's a very interesting action. Again, they're going to sneak a single here. Well, that's smart running once again by the Danish batsman. Just keeping the run rate ticking over here.
It's good bowling. Again, just singles. Just short singles there. They'd be quite happy with that. He's not getting any boundaries. Field is set well, and he's bowling to his plans.
Well, Tasir Ali has very interesting action. Almost like a sling. Comes in. And he suddenly has his arm. It's right above his head. He launches it just like that. And that's a lofted drive. And that's going to go through the covers. What a fantastic shot. A cover drive for 4. And that's going to fill the Danish batsmen with a bit more confidence as they stride towards 130. Possibly 135 towards the end of this innings.
Really nice shot. Also gave him, the bowler gave him a little bit of width there. And he was able to free his hands. Up and over. No pressure. But kind of relieving the pressure, the batting pressure a little. They need a few more 4s. I don't know whether they'd be fully happy with this score at the moment yet.
Well, that's Mahmood on screen there. And he's gone for the lofted drive again, but there is a fielder out there at deep extra cover. So that's going to stop the boundary, and they run a single. Well, they have a run a ball here. Very good over for the batter. Well, the batsman, pardon me.
Good over for the batter, but also bowling at the death is not an easy thing. It's a skill within itself. You'd highlight people that would take the end overs. So
we just take a look at the batting card here. Well, a strong start from Hamid Shah. That's the Hamid Mazar on your screen. He's the captain, 40 off 40 balls. Nikolai Lausgaard again, 21. Very strong opening partnership of 50. But it has been quick wickets, but promising for the Danish side as that middle order has at least scored runs, and that's so vital in this format of the game.
Absolutely, and you can just see today Norway have obviously had a chat about their bowling performance. Their extras are only at 6 today, which is an improvement hugely from yesterday, which is really good.
Sitting on about 14 extras at the end of their innings against Jersey in their opening game. This was meant to be their opening fixture for the two sides at College Field, but it was abandoned due to rain on the opening Saturday of this Europe final.
I'm interested to see the timings of this because Norway must be pushing closely to the allotted time for your 20 overs.
Well, this is Janai Sheikh, another youngster, another wonderful action. Here comes the medium pacer. And that's gone high in the air, and this should be caught, maybe by the bowler. Oh, and there's three fielders all on that at once. No one could make up their mind who wanted that. It fell almost down in the middle of the triangle of players there. Is that a missed opportunity, Kira?
Oh, I think it's hard. The bowler's trying to follow through, then run back. Person off the rope could have been maybe a bit quicker.
It's difficult.
It is. Yeah,
we can sit here in our commentary position and rue a missed opportunity, and as the batter there tries to go for a pull shot, but he looks like he's just beaten for pace.
I think he actually slowed it up a little, but it was well bowled. It's just, again, a dot ball in the later stages of a game. Again, going back to death bowling, it's a definite skill.
And again, just pulls the slower ball there and just beats the batsman. That's clever bowling here from the 19-year-old.
We saw him do this yesterday against Jersey. It was very effective. He just slowed it up and the batter didn't know what was going on.
Well, again, a shorter delivery, and the batsman is just struggling to get anything on this. This has been three really good deliveries from Janai Sheikh.
The 18th over, and we have a mini maiden. Again, Denmark needing to put on as many runs as possible here.
I think the batsman here is going to go big. And again, a wide ball. Well, that's ended the mini maiden. That's a run onto the scorecard for Denmark there as they move on to 129 for 6 in the 19th over. Pardon me. Barely get my words out this morning.
I think on that occasion the bowler tried to push it out wider of the batter there.
And there we are. He finally executes that pull shot, but there is a man there at deep square leg. He's running in hard. They've run two, and that's very good running from the Danish batsman. Well received again from the pavilion. The Danish flag stuck around this ground twice again against the fence, the 3G Astro, and also the pavilion.
Again, first up, he's got away with these 3 slower balls, and I think now he might be slightly overcomplicating it. We don't want to be giving away wides. It's a run, another ball.
And that's gone high in the air. It's going to go over the fielder behind us. No, it isn't. Oh, it's dropped right in front of us. It was an easy opportunity.
Oh,
Flew back to third man. He did very well to chase after it. And it slipped through his fingers.
yeah, that's a hard skill. You're taking it kind of behind you, but he had done all the hard work, and he nearly celebrated before he had the ball on hand.
That could have been a wicket at the end of the 19th over. As it's 1-3-3 for 6 going into the final one of the Danish innings.
That's a pity. There's just a few occasions, 2 run-outs that we've seen missed, and that catch, it's a dot ball if there's a wicket. It also, another person out. We had 3 wickets onto that, and they'd be 1-3-3 for 9.
Wow, it slipped through the fingers of the fielder there. Raza Iqbal was the guilty player. Running back, third man.
So last over here, he's pushed out his third man, and deep square. Mid on, mid off back, and deep mid wicket.
Well, the Danish batsmen are going to have to go hard here. Push towards 140, you would think. And straight off the mark, he tries it. Manages to sneak a single as the ball sneaks over there to square leg. In these situations, have you ever batted in a situation where it's the final over and you needed to push on in a 2020?
I certainly have.
And did you push on well? as the bowler comes in again, looking to strike. First lofted drive, that's going to head towards the boundary. Can the fielder get it? He tries, he dives onto his knees, but it's another beautiful cover drive for 4. And that's going to move them onto 1, 3, 8 for 6 in this final over, pushing towards 140 here.
Really nice shot, and relieving some of the pressure. That's definitely what they want in the last few overs, to get some maximum boundaries.
Absolutely. Now the Scandinavian derby here at the KG5 in the Europe finals. Who wants to claim the glory of the Nordic region in this tournament? A beautiful bit of bowling there, gives him a fuller delivery. Beats him for pace. As the batsman chucks his bat in the air. A little bit of frustration coming in the face of Shah.
Well bowled in comeback for the youngster. Again, a dot ball in the last over. He's definitely built on what he bowled yesterday. It's really nice to see. He's definitely a talent.
And that's a really good delivery. Right, gives him a Yorker. And that strikes the pad. They manage to sneak a single, get the leg bys. Umpire Waldron just signalling to the scorer's box.
Again, nice to see his teammate over, appreciating and recognising his hard work in the last over.
He has really impressed today, hasn't he? Looked more balanced, looked a bit more composed. He was hit around the park a bit yesterday by Jersey. Maybe trying a bit too hard with this pace that he carries. And that's a great delivery. Nearly a wonderful nil stop by Niazi, but it's just collected it long on there as the batsman returned for 2.
I think Norway will be happy with that, but at the same time, that's just what we spoke about yesterday. The batter's putting pressure on the fielder to nearly force a misfield and get the 2. If you run the first one quick, you're giving yourself an option to get back.
Well, one delivery to come in the Danish innings. 1 for 1 for 6. The youngster, Nayatullah Niazi, coming in for the final ball. The Denmark innings here in the Europe final. And he's bowled him. What a fantastic delivery to end the Norwegians with a wicket. Finishing on 1 for 1 for 7. A wonderful delivery. But you can see what the batsman was trying to do there. Go big on the final ball. But he just gives him a bit more, a fuller length. Almost at his feet. Bowled in middle stump.
Absolutely. He stepped across a little, trying to give himself some room, but I think the youngster, in fairness to him, he just bowled his line of length and picked up the wicket. Really, really good bowling. I think Norway will be quite happy with this total. Denmark have got some serious work to do in the first couple of overs to try squash this Norway team. We did highlight yesterday that their strength is their batting, so this is going to be a really interesting second innings.
Well, we'll just take a look at the batting scorecard here. A very strong start from the Danish batsmen with a fantastic opening partnership between Nikolai Lausgaard and the captain Hamid Shah, putting on a 50 partnership. Hamid Shah himself getting 40 off 40, a fantastic knock by the captain.
Absolutely, and you can see there on your screen that the run rate is 7.5. Again, going back to Norway with their strength, I think they'll be quite happy. This is going to be very interesting on how they approach this.
Well, you just alluded to it there. A very good comeback by the bowlers. There's a score of 170 was on talk around the ground here at KG5, but they've really come back into it. Niazi picking up a wicket, and Ahmed and Iqbal, and also Bahar, 2 apiece, all of them. But if you look at the fall of wickets here, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, and the 6th, all within that 80 to 110 region. They did very well to restrict the Danish batsmen to a lower score. Well, 1 for 1 for 7 after their 20 overs. We're going to take a little break and we'll join you for the action as Norway look to get 142 runs in this chase.
Welcome back to the KG5 playing fields in Guernsey in the Channel Islands. We're just northwest off the coast of France for this, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final 2019. It's the Nordic Derby, Norway against Denmark. Denmark won the toss this morning. Their captain on screen there, Hamid Shah, he won the toss. He also top scored with 40. Denmark threatened to make more at some stages through their innings, but they've made 141 for 7 from their 20 overs. Andrew Leonard here. I'm joined by Ciara Metcalf, the former Irish women's international leg spinner who retired last year, into the commentary box with me now today. Going to be Delaware Khan to open up from the near end for us. Here we go. Ciara, Denmark a little bit under par perhaps with 141?
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll see. They left a lot behind, I think is a way of putting it. I don't know whether they'd be fully happy with that, but they definitely have a better. They've a good bowling attack here.
Yeah, this Danish bowling attack relies a lot on spin, and we saw appreciable turn throughout the first innings. Beauty. Decided to open with seam though. And Delaware Khan, one of 2 left arm seamers alongside Oliver Holt in this Danish bowling attack.
Yeah, they've gone with pace first up today. Yesterday they went with spin. Just from the Norway's point of things, I think they can't go into their shell early. They need to look to break the field early and get runs on the board, just for a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, need about 7 and over throughout this game. You'll see in the required run rate will update on your graphics at the bottom of the screen. 142 to win Norway. If Norway lose today, they're going home. They cannot qualify. Not literally going home, they'll still have 2 games left to play in the tournament. But they will not be one of the solitary side that will advance to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Global Qualifier out in the UAE. That's this prize at stake this week. 1 place between these 6 sides. First runs of the innings. Just a quick single down to Taranjit Barrage there at backward point. How would you like to see Norway go about this? You watched them bat yesterday, Ciara.
Yeah, just with a little bit more aggression and definitely some running between the wickets. I noticed Denmark have put in a slip. They've just had a little rejig of the field here. They have a slip in, a third man, fine leg. And I think they've got another guy coming over into the covers, really packing it in here on the offside.
Nicely bowled by Khan. Will get through for a quick single. It's a left-hand, right-hand opening partnership this for Norway. They were bowled all out for just 80 yesterday. But it was a much more impressive in their effort in their opening game against Italy, where they made 151 for 3. So Norway and their head coach Shah Ahmed, he's going to feel like they could get their opening win of the tournament.
Yeah, and we've definitely highlighted that their batting is their strength. We're excited to see some shots on display.
Nicely bowled, half an appeal, stifled appeal really. The 5 pad looks to be too high and going down the leg side, surely.
Denmark are up, drawing the ball around, lots of energy, and that Norway will feel that straight away.
This Danish side prides itself on their athleticism in the field. Jeremy Bray, their head coach. The Irishman works them really hard. Down the leg side, umpire Mary Waldron will signal wide. As you see on your screen there. How much does pressure come into a chase like this with runs on the board, Ciara?
Yeah, and I think that they're looking. Both teams are looking to improve on yesterday's performance. So there's pressure all around. I just feeling the ball off the middle of the bat will definitely instill some confidence.
Edged, and it's an inside edge. Chinese cut down to the fielder at fine leg, half a chance. It's going to end the first over. 4 runs coming from it, 3 singles and a wide. Norway 4 for none. So one side this week from the 6 competing will advance to the men's T20 World Cup Global Qualifier. It's going to be held between October and November out in the UAE. And regional qualifiers all over the world, Kira. Great to see Africa, Asia, East Asia Pacific region. The Americas one that's coming up in Bermuda in August. And you're watching here the European final in Guernsey.
Yeah, there's just so much cricket happening, both male and female, and all the build up to the World Cups. It's growing across the world. It's fantastic to see.
We've seen them take the path with separate events for the men and women's T20 World Cup now, and they'll be held as standalone events next year in Australia. Is that something you like to see? A good decision?
Yeah, well, they're testing the waters with several different tournaments. I know this year as well, the Women's Big Bash will be a standalone tournament in October. So again, I'm interested to see that. Australia is slightly different. It's a way of life over there, but again, they're seeing that there is a market there for it, and lots more people are tuning in to have a look at associate cricket, amateur sports, and female or male and female, shall I say.
It'll be the first time since 2016 where the event will be split. We're going to have left arm spin to open. Left arm spin in the form of Nikolai Lesgaard, and he's drifted down the leg side to start. Good piece of fielding, drags it just in front of the rope. They'll come back for 3. Really good work by Zishan Shah there. Fine leg, but not a good start from Lesgaard.
Do you know what? It's those little cut-offs that the little save of the one single could be the big difference later on in this game. So full commitment in the field. And this is the bowler that opened yesterday. Really, really tall spinner, coming from about 9 foot when he releases the ball.
Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Suleiman Ben, a big West Indian spinner. Tall left armour. Not a huge turner of the ball, particularly with the new ball. It will skid on with the arm. But we did see the Norwegian spinners, particularly Prithvi Bharat, get turn out of the surface.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've highlighted, I suppose this is the 5th game now that's been on this wicket.
Beautifully bowled him. The perfect start from Lesgaard. He strikes in his first over. It was full, it was straight, and it went through Edisham Hack. He's got to go. That's the first wicket for Denmark.
Again, coming from that height, Lenny, it's hard to pick. But that just seemed to go straight on, maybe the wrong shot, and just ended up being bowled. That's an early wicket. Norway would not have put that into their batting plan, but it's how they recover from this now.
Yeah, he just went on with the arm, as I was talking about just before. It's gone through the gap between bat and pad. Shamal Haq, who made some runs in the opening game against Italy for Norway, falls for a low score again today. That is not the start that Norway would have wanted to this Nordic derby.
It's not, and I suppose that's where, again, being at these tournaments and they're, I suppose, learning about the game, it's how you recover from this, and it's the message you go in and you help the guys that are in the sheds there, and you build them up to come out and try get some runs on the board.
Beautiful piece of left arm spin bowling from the big tall Nicholas Lesgaard. Jeremy Bray has a smile on his face for first time in a couple of days.
He has the legs out. He must think it's hot.
Yeah, the sunshine is out here. The KG5 playing fields in Guernsey. We're bringing you these pictures live with ICC Europe. Going to be Walid Ghori in at number 3. So 2 left-handers at the crease. He batted very nicely the opening day of the tournament against Italy. He's going to need to build a partnership here with his skipper at the non-striker's end. Full and straight again from Lesgaard. Bowls at a quick pace, Ciara.
He does. He really, it's coming from the height and he darts it in again. I know I spoke earlier on about maybe seeing some of the spinners flight it up, but I think this is more effective for this particular bowler.
Beautifully bowled. Really good stuff. Bowling in his sunglasses, something you like to see, Ciara, for a spinner?
It's all about image.
We've seen plenty of style on show
You
this
may
week.
bowl bad, but you look good doing it.
Down the leg side this time. Just going to be worked in to the onside for a single. Plenty of style on show this week at the Men's T20 World Cup Europe final. Italy, no surprise to see them leading the way. I've seen some blue sneakers, some white runners even, with the coloured kit. Plenty of skills on show. Really good cricket we've seen, with these 6 countries battling it out for one place at the global qualifier. And into game 8 of 15, only one of those 6 sides is already ruled out of qualification. That's the host Guernsey.
Yeah, just interesting for Norway here, Lenny. Just with the power play, I suppose that they're going to have to try get some runs before the Danes spread the field. So I don't know whether that's something that the 2 batters have been discussing.
Yeah, those fielding restrictions in place for 6 overs.
Yeah, they can help. But then I suppose when they push it does open it up. But
For any regulation field, fine leg, and third man, the 2 fielders outside the circle. 7 fielders inside the circle and the wicket keeper. Short this time, pulled straight to the man at mid-wicket. Danish fielding yesterday, was it impressive?
yeah, not bad. Again, I suppose I'm after watching Jersey play for the last few days, and theirs has been exceptional. But absolutely no Denmark up and about. Norway have kind of watched the other teams, and they've come out even better again today. So I suppose you learn as you go through the tournament.
Fuller this time, but it's going to be a boundary. It's worked off his legs, and it's going to be signalled for. Just wondered, did that maybe come off the pad as well? He was looking for the Yorker, Delaware Khan. Good batting by Gary. Gets the bat down in it. Fine leg, very square there, Ciara.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do for that. Just going back to the feeling, Lenny, I suppose we mentioned it yesterday as well, that so many people put so much emphasis on batting and bowling, and in T20 cricket, fielding is a huge part of it. It can be game changing, it can build pressure, and it's definitely something that I think some of the teams here need to work on, but it's something that can be worked on pretty quick.
We've seen some spectacular catches throughout the week. A couple at your ground here, particularly from the keeper, the Jersey keeper, Jake Dunford. It's better from Delaware Khan. Good pace. Shy at the stumps, but he'll be well back. I've seen a couple of spectacular catches across at College Field, where I've been based for much of the week, including a game-changing one from an Italian perspective, because Guernsey were on the verge of their first win, but Michael Ross down at long on caught the ball just inches from the rope. As we see so often in these T20 leagues, his balance was going to take him over the rope, but he threw the ball up into the air, went over the rope and came back to help seal the win for Italy. Really good stuff this from Delaware Khan, getting good movement with the new ball.
And again, Lenny, that's something that's something you have to practice. You know, a lot of the kids see guys on TV that they're trying reverse sweeps, or they're trying these fancy fielding techniques. And again, this is stuff that these guys practice day in, day out. So, you know, you might have a one-off chance where it happens, but you have to practice these skills to perform them at this level.
Yeah, it gives them the chance to replicate them on the biggest stage. These associate cricketers. Quick single. Good piece of fielding, but they'll get through for one. We saw that in the warm-ups even. They're actually specifically practicing those catches right against the boundary rope, and practicing the art of catching it and throwing it back in instead of carrying the ball over for a 6.
Absolutely. It's the way the modern game is. You have to have all your tricks.
Looking for that Yorker again, but drifting down the leg side. Delaware Khan just doesn't need to go searching for the glory ball. Just hit that consistent line and length outside off, and that should be enough for him.
Absolutely. And again, I suppose the bowler maybe bowling a wide is relieving the pressure from Norway's point of view. They haven't done much, and they're 14 on the board already off the last ball of the over in the second over.
That's a better line, but it's skewed off the outside edge, and it's going to be a boundary 4. So runs starting to come for Norway. They're going exactly a run a ball. That's 3 overs gone. Norway 18 for 1 after 3. Pace on the ball. It looks like the Norwegians prefer that.
Yeah, that was evident yesterday as well. Again, Denmark have quite a few spinners, so no doubt they'll use them. They did hold back Khan yesterday, or Hamid, should I say, and he was very effective, and he took 4 wickets then in the middle.
Yeah, Hamid Shah's off breaks will be complemented by the left arm spin of Nicholas Legsgaard and We've got right arm seam from Gino Jojo. Delaware Khan and Oliver Hall will bowl the left arm medium. Plenty other spinners at Denmark's disposal. Will we see Nikolai Lesgaard bowl throughout the power play, you think, Ciara?
I don't know. They really need to not let Norway settle. So
that's nicely bowled. He's just restricting the two Norwegian batters, not giving them anything to work with. Not allowed to use their feet come down the track because he's bowling at such a good pace.
absolutely, and you do highlight certain bowlers that suit bowling in the power play as a unit. They can be more effective or at the death.
Leading edge, what a catch! Brilliant from Lesgaard, the second wicket for him, the second wicket for Denmark. That's just what they wanted. It was full and straight, skidding on with the arm again. Gary looking to force it into the leg side. It comes off the leading edge, and the big tall man clings on to a great catch.
Fantastic catch. I'm going to say maybe he's the only person on the field who could have caught it because he's that tall. But he built the pressure up himself, and his teammates, the fielders, were also moving in. You could feel it was coming. Unlucky there for the Norwegian guy. Who's next? This run rate is getting a bit bigger now, so they need to be aware of this.
Yeah, the required run rate just dips over 7.5 and over for the first time. Well, Gary has to go. He's going to bring Ansar Iqbal to the crease. Double O on the back. Known for his big hitting exploits in this Norwegian side. But he's going to need them because Nikolai Lesgaard, opening the bowling with his left arm spin, has 2 wickets in his first 2 overs. Really doing a great job for Denmark.
Yeah, it just seems as if Norway are just pushing at the spinners a little bit too much. I suppose there's nerves, wanting to turn around their loss yesterday. But if it's whoever adapts to the conditions and gets their head in the game here now will.
Do you feel that spin will be the way to go on this surface, even outside of the power play? We're going to see probably more spin than seam from Denmark.
Yeah, I think especially the way a lot of these spinners bowl, they use the pitch a lot. It's darting it in. I'm a big fan. I've said it a few times of maybe doing that as a.
Flatter going on with the arm, just clips the thigh pad of Iqbal. We'll wait for the signal from the umpire. We have a beautiful big brown Labrador in front of our commentary position, and he comes to say hello to us, Ciara, in front of the fair in Guernsey.
Slowing it up here. Batter getting his guard.
Just trying to keep that dog off the pitch as we have a big appeal. Looks like he got outside the line to me, Raza Iqbal, the Norwegian captain. Good decision from umpire Kearns. Of course, if you get hit outside the line of off stump when playing a shot, you cannot be out LBW.
Again, the height that this bowler's coming from, he's mixing it up quite a bit. It's darting it in. It's hard to get away.
Flatter again. That's really nice batting, opening the face in the misfield. Delaware Khan at third man allows him to get through for a single. You can see a real difference in the athleticism of the two sides. Denmark look to be at peak fitness, whereas Norway perhaps struggling between the wickets a bit, struggled at points in the field, a couple of drop catches.
Yeah, I agree. I just think for the running between the wickets there, they need to push the first one and to try put a bit of pressure on the fielder. Again, we've spoke about this, to try bring on the second run. Every run for Norway is so valuable, so put pressure on the fielders.
Yeah, 122 more to win from 16 overs for Norway in this Nordic derby. If they lose today, they are out. They cannot qualify from this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe final. The reason they won't be able to qualify is because both Jersey and Italy have already won 3 games this week, standing on top of the table. We have a change in bowling for the first time today. Going to go to Gino Jojo, so right arm seam replacing the left arm seam of Delaware Khan. Jeremy Bray was telling me about him earlier in the week. He said he just ambles into the crease but gets it down at a really good pace.
Yeah, because his approach, it looks quite slow, a lot of steps. Seems to build up just as he releases a lot of pace.
Yeah, almost reminiscent of someone like a Jofra Archer. Really ambles into the crease, generates a lot of the speed from his delivery through shoulder pace as opposed to explosive running through the crease.
Absolutely. Fielder's looking after the ball. Nice to see as well.
Shorter this time, pulled away. That's going to be meat and drink for Raza Iqbal. Sat up to be hit, and that's the first boundary off the seam of Jojo. Not a good delivery.
No, short ball, and he picked it up really, really well. Just leaned back and pulled it to square. Low risk shot, there's no fielders out there, but he put it away very well.
Yeah, it's not where you'd be expecting Jojo to bowl with no one in the deep on the leg side. It's actually going to bring about a change in the field because fine leg's going to come into the circle. They will have that man out there in the deep on the leg side. Going to be deep square leg will go out. Third man, the other fielder outside the 30-yard circle at this point. Jojo operating around the wicket to the left-handed skipper of Norway. Cut away, there's protection out there, straight to the man at third man. Really seem to prefer the pace on the ball, these Norwegian batsmen.
Yeah, it's very clear. And also, just again, going back to the running there. Okay, there's probably not going to be two there, but they really need to challenge that fielder.
A glorious scene today at the KG5 playing fields in Guernsey. We're here on the reserve day. It's the 8th game of 15, so we're at exactly the halfway point of the tournament. Halfway through the halfway point of the tournament, so all to be played for over the coming days. Nicely bowled by Jojo to the right-handed Ansar Iqbal. Talk to us a little bit about the games coming up, Ciara. We've got 4 matches on Tuesday, tomorrow, and then 3 to finish up on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's lots of cricket ahead. So there's some big matches coming ahead as well, because just seeing the results that have gone by. I'm interested to see how fitness plays a part in this week. Tiredness and
each of the 6 countries has a double header with the format that we have, because you play 2 games on one of your 4 days and then you have 1 game a day for the other 3. Denmark tomorrow will go into a double header, and surely they'll be hoping if they can close out a win today. They could get 2 wins from 2 yesterday. They'll probably keep their fate in their own hands going into the final day.
Absolutely, and again, we mentioned earlier on, I think Denmark were a little bit surprised with how Jersey attacked them yesterday. So they'll definitely want to take as much as they can out of this game and give themselves full chance.
Nicely bowled by Jojo to end the 5th over. Norway 26 for 2 now. I'm going to bring about a change in the commentary box. I'll bid a short farewell to Ciara Metcalf. Ciara's going to go and get a little bit of breakfast, maybe a brunch in. And I'll be joined now by Ian Leggett.
Good to be in the commentary box with you again, Andrew. Looking like a promising start for the Danish side here. I was confident at the start that this target was well within Norway's reach after the innings they put up against Italy in their opening fixture. But 2 early wickets, and the Denmark team look in full control.
And interestingly, we're going to see the left arm spin of Nikolai Lesgaard taken off from the far end despite his 2 wickets in his opening 2 overs. And just wonder, is Hamid Shah perhaps misreading the conditions a touch? He's predominantly going to his seamers. Norway look a little bit more comfortable against the seamers. This pitch is starting to turn, so he's going to go to the left arm medium pace of Oliver Hold. A tactic you're perhaps a little surprised by?
I am, but Oliver Hold bowled very well yesterday. The youngster really impressed me. Bowling from the 3GN once again. Picked up 2 wickets in his 4 overs. Only went for 17. He's only 19 years old as well.
Left arm over the wicket, and we have a man at third man and deep mid-wicket, the two outside the circle. Starts with a wide one outside the off stump, not signalled wide by umpire Heath Kearns. Could be some dangerous power hitting within this Norwegian side, but doesn't seem to be a huge amount of working the ball around to go with it.
A very familiar sight to what we saw against Jersey as they went about their chase. I think the Danish side are going to follow similar tactics to what the Jerseyans did.
Just as we speak about it, it's really blocker hit stuff this from the Norwegian batsman Anzarak Iqbal with a big swing and a miss outside the off stump. Good stuff this to start with from Oliver Holt.
Would have really liked to see, and Kira alluded to it earlier, would have been a nicer sight to see the Norwegian team come out a bit more all guns blazing. It's not the smallest of totals. I think they're going to need to start finding the boundaries sooner.
Full hit into the sky. This could be a chance at point. The man comes around. He takes a very good catch. That's brilliant. From Taranjeet Barrage. It was a low full toss. Not the greatest delivery, but it skewed off the outside edge of Anzar Iqbal. That's the third wicket. What do I know? Hamid Shah's gone to the seamers and he's got the wicket that he wanted.
Absolutely, and that's this 19-year-old Oliver Holt once again proving invaluable to this Danish side. He's done exactly what he did in his side's first game yesterday at this ground, at the KGV. Just switches things up again. It was Hamid Shah that shone with the ball for Denmark, but young Ollie Holt once again proving invaluable and grabbing it. It wasn't the easiest of catches as well, Andrew, at point. To slightly slide back, keep the ball in his vision.
Yeah, very well held by Taranjeet Barrage. He had to make ground to his left. And with the way the ball skewed off the outside edge, it would have been significant spin and revolutions going around in the ball. So a good catch from him. You often get your best fielders at backward point, and Barrage showing why he's in that position there.
Absolutely. Well, as the third wicket falls, I think Denmark are going to be wanting to finish this sooner rather than later. Norwegians once again in a situation where they're going to have to make a choice. Do they knuckle in for the next 2 or 3 overs, compose themselves, or do they start going for this chase? Still 116 required.
Yeah, Raza Iqbal is going to be back on strike because the batsman did cross. The Norwegian captain must be wondering what his fellow batters are doing. 3 wickets falling inside the power play here. Big appeal, but going down the leg side. Norwegian captain, he's been joined by Tafsir Ali at number 5. Difficult position for the Norwegian chase here now. As you say, do you stick or twist? Do you keep going all guns blazing?
Well, the biggest issue with that chase yesterday was they stalled and they didn't make a clear decision. Kira and I chatting in the commentary box throughout the game. They looked hesitant. They seemed to mix up their batting order a little bit. A couple of people coming in right at the end deciding to power hit as that shot just falls behind and it's going to run away for 4.
Yeah, he was looking to power that over cow corner. Raza Iqbal skews off the outside edge, significantly wide of the Danish keeper Abdul Hashmi. And a first slip in place that would have been pouched comfortably. Perhaps Hamid Shah not showing enough aggression with his captaincy. Fortune for Raza Iqbal.
Well, Oliver Holt, we've just spoken about him. Conceding just the 4 runs there, rather unfortunately, but grabbing that crucial wicket. Grabbing wickets at key points in this game.
Slower ball. Nicely ball by Oliver Holt and good fielding. Good aggression from him and the follow through as well. That's going to end the 6th over of the match and end the power play as well. Norway now 30 for 3.
Well, as we look around the KGV grounds, blue skies and sunshine, a wonderful sight for any cricket fan or any cricket player in the world. It's a wonderful cricket ground here in the Europe finals. So we're just going to bring up the points table. What we're going to see, Jersey and Italy at the top here, 6 points apiece. But this game, crucially, a loss for either of these teams and it will rule out their chances of qualifying for this global qualifier in the UAE, Andrew.
Yeah, the points table is really interestingly poised because Jersey and Italy, whilst they might look like they have an unassailable advantage, Denmark and Germany both definitely in with a strong shout of getting back into the mix. Denmark can win today. They play 2 matches tomorrow, as do Germany. Both Denmark and Germany having double headers tomorrow. So if the results go the way I think they might just, we could end up in a position where we have maybe 3 or 4 teams still possibly fighting it out on the final day of the tournament, and that's going to be exciting to say the least.
Absolutely, the idea of possibly going down to one of the final games at College Field, Jersey versus Italy, could be the decider. That's what these tournaments are all about.
Hamid Shah, the Danish captain, going to bring himself into the attack. The power play is eased, and he'll bowl his off breaks. Beautifully bowled, going on with the arm. Played against Hamid Shah in Dublin. Played for the Hills Cricket Club. Really talented cricketer. And that's part of that Irish link that Denmark have with particularly the Leinster region. A Danish development side over playing against the Lightning Bolts in recent weeks. It's part of their preparations for this tournament. Some really talented cricketers within this Danish setup.
Oh, absolutely. And Hamid Shah in the game yesterday, he proved absolutely vital in slowing down that Jersey run chase. Picked up 4 wickets and only went for 23 runs in his 4 overs. Captain electing to put himself on again at the end of the power play, a very similar position to what they're in now, and collected the wickets in his first over.
Yeah, you can see the fielders being sent everywhere, and Hamid Shah just wanting to get his field right. He's going to give himself a lot of protection on the leg side, bowling to a 5-4 offside field, but 3 of his 5 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. They're in the deep on the leg side. So a deep backward square leg, a cow corner and a long on. He's going to operate around the wicket to the left-handed skipper of Norway, Raza Iqbal.
Well, one thing that really impressed me about Shah was his variation in his bowling. He added a new dynamic to the bowling unit. A bit more pace on some of his balls, as we see there. Just misses the bat of the batsman. Collected by the keeper behind the stumps, and that's the power of him. Tosses in a bit more pace every now and then.
Yeah, changes his pace nicely. The finger spinner, Hamid Shah, bowling his off breaks. Powered into the leg side. There's a man out there, and he's picked him out. Gone straight down the throat of the man at cow corner. Brilliant captaincy from Hamid Shah. He was placing that fielder exactly where he wanted him. That's the 4th wicket to fall. Denmark, they're right on top.
Well, once again, Hamid Shah elects himself to go onto the bowling at this end, at the retirement home end here at the KGV, and collects a wicket. That's his 5th wicket of the tournament. And again, puts Denmark in a very strong position. As Norway are trying to chase 1-4-1 in this tournament. And they're going to looking to collect their first victory as we see them all huddled up. We're just going to take a look at the scorecard here for the Norwegians. And Andrew, it's not a very pretty sight when you're needing 111 off your final 13 overs.
Yeah, Delaware Khan it was who took the catch in the deep at cow corner. It was a comfortable one because Raza Iqbal, perhaps feeling the strain of that required run rate that's escalated to over 8 and over, was looking for the big shot into the leg side. Big boundaries at both grounds, both the KG5 playing fields here and College Field just across the island, but Norway in all sorts of bother. Need 111 more, just 6 wickets in hand. Denmark are going to look to close out this win. And crucially get a big net run rate boost as well, which could be critical on the final day.
We've spoken numerous times over our broadcasts about what it means to be playing in this tournament and the added pressure of having to finish top of the table. A new dynamic to each game.
Super stuff from Hamid Shah, the Danish captain. Just 1 run coming from his first over and a wicket. A little bit of commotion between the batter and bowler. Hamid Shah threatening to throw the ball back. And the Norwegian batter saying, "Go on then, throw it at me."
It looks like they were challenging him, which is good to see. They haven't given up their full hope here.
This is a derby we're, of course, bringing you these live pictures of. It's the Nordic derby between Norway and Denmark. Hayatullah Niazi, the new man to the crease, the left-hander, he'll be on strike now for the first time. And And he hits a big ball. He hit 2 sixes in the opening game that I was commentating on in College Field.
He impressed with the bat as well. Yesterday here at KGV. 22 on 14 balls faced, so are we looking to find the boundary again? He did hit 2 fours. Like you said, it's not the smallest of boundaries here at KGV.
Nicely bowled from Oliver Holt. Interesting field as well here because he's got mid-off and mid-on in the circle. So fine leg and third man are out, and deep cover and deep square leg, but interesting to see both mid-on and mid-off in the circle, perhaps challenging the young Niazi to go over the top.
Absolutely, I think they're going to want to see him playing his front foot here. Maybe miss time one, straight into the hands of mid-on. And yeah, we see it happen, and it just falls before the fielder there, and there's a little mix-up in the middle here, and it could be a run-out, but it wasn't. They fall safely back. And back, they were going to run one there, Andrew, but they decided to back out. It doesn't help when young Niazi's halfway down the middle of the wicket.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up in the running between the wickets. Niazi couldn't find any timing. He came down the pitch, looking to power the ball over mid-off and mid-on, but he couldn't get it over either of them. Went straight to the fielder at mid-off and one bounce. End results a dot ball. Nicely bowled. That's that change of pace from Oliver Hall. They will go for the single this time. Direct hit would have been very close.
That's a good bit of running between the batsmen there. They were keen to get off the mark and get a single going. Clever bit of batting as well from Niazi. Just lightly plays that behind him. But these Norwegian batsmen, pardon me, will be, like we said before, it's difficult to figure out a strategy when you need this many runs. You don't have many wickets in hand now. Do you start going for it? This Danish field setting, like you said, is putting plenty of pressure on the batsman.
Yeah, nearly 9 and over required now. Norwegian batsmen in an unenviable position. Really tight, disciplined bowling and superb stuff in the field, particularly from Denmark.
Absolutely. I think credit really has to go to this opening batting partnership of the captain Hamid Shah and also Nikolai Lasgaard. Putting on that 50 partnership has put Denmark in a very strong position. Losing early wickets is never a good thing in T20 cricket, but they've cemented their position and allowed their team to drive forward to 100 now. 1-for-1 at the end of their innings.
More changes in the field here. Long off does go out this time, so fine leg will come up into the circle. Really good cricket this from Denmark, putting the squeeze on the 2 Norwegian batsmen. Constantly changing his field. He looks like a young cricketer who knows exactly what he wants, Oliver Holt.
Well, this is a different dynamic to the Danish side we saw in the field against Jersey. This is what happens when a team's on top. Very vocal out there, all around the boundary. Deep third man, deep fine leg as well. Cheering their side on, cheering on young Ollie Holt.
That's a super over, just one coming from it. After 8 overs, this Norwegian chase is in danger of going nowhere. The score now 32 for 4. Let's take a look at the match summary. The state of play with 12 overs left on this, the reserve day of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final. Ian, you'd have to say Denmark right on top and looking on course for their first 2 points of the week.
Well, absolutely. And if we just look down the bottom right of our screen here, the bowlers bowling tight line and sticking to their plan. Ollie Holt, 5 for 1 from his 2. Mazar, just the 1 run and the 1 wicket. That's the captain, Hamid Shah, making the difference. And also, Lasgaard as well. 2 overs and only 5 runs.
Hamid Shah going to operate around the wicket. To the big striking left-hander, Hayatullah Niazi. We're going to see some fireworks here, I suspect. Nicely played by Niazi into the offside, just for a single. Lovely bowler to watch, Hamid Shah. He has a little bit of a leap into his bound, maybe a touch like Saqlain Mushtaq did.
Absolutely. He does have a little bit of a bounce, and there's a couple really interesting actions. For both these sides, we were admiring the bowling of Hayatullah Niazi earlier. A wonderful flow that he has into his medium pace.
medium pace. I think that's a little bit harsh on
It
Untitled
was a little
Chapter.
bit fast medium, pardon me, as I mix up my words. One of the fastest bowlers in the tournament. I certainly wouldn't want to face him myself, Andrew.
Really good change of pace again from Hamid Shah. And see how intently he watches the batsman, wanting to see if, right to the last minute, if there's any use of the feet. Adjusting his line and length on the basis of that. Beautiful bowling again. Going to be a single though, as his dive to the left can't prevent the single.
Well, Hamid Shah proving exactly what a wonderful T20 bowler he is. Trying to concede as few runs as possible, teasing the batsman into playing a big shot, but then gives him a fuller delivery and is happy to concede that single.
Flatter this time to Niazi, perhaps concerned about the power that Niazi has. Going to be signalled wide by umpire Mary Waldron. Beautifully bowled inside edge. It goes through the legs of Niazi. Going to be half a chance. Direct hit, but the batsman safely home. That's Tafsir Ali there running through for the single. Nothing coming easily here for Norway, Ian.
Absolutely, these Danish fielders are restricting them. Anytime the ball falls, finds the leading edge, someone's very quick to receive it, challenge it. Something that's the Jersey sides at the top of the table have done very well. Clinical in the fields. Every single time they return the ball hard into the stumps, allowing the batsman just to know that if they want to go for singles, it's going to be a task.
Powered down the ground, there's a fielder at long on, and it will just bounce twice in front of him. That's Anikudin doing the fielding down at long on, so just the 5 runs coming from that over. Hamid Shah's second. Norway moved to 37 for 4 after 9.
Well, 37 for 4, still requiring 105 runs in the remaining 11 overs. It's no mean feat for any side in cricket. Denmark well on course here to get their first victory as they head towards tomorrow, their double header on the Tuesday, facing Guernsey and then Italy, another team at the top of the table.
I'm going to see a change in bowling now. More spin coming into the attack from Denmark. Saif Ahmed's going to come in from the 3G or the 4G end, or whatever we've been referring to it as here at the KG5 playing fields. You saw him bowl yesterday, operating with his off breaks as well.
Absolutely, and much to the same as Hamid Shah and this disciplined bowling unit of Denmark, restricting the runs to a minimum, slowed down the Jersey batting tempo in the middle order.
It's definitely their strength for the Danish bowlers, isn't it? Their spinners really get you in the middle overs. And they just tie the innings down, don't they?
Well, it's exactly what you want in this format of the game. It's all about momentum. It's all about keeping the run count ticking over. And if you have someone restricting you to just singles and the occasional 2, the momentum of the batting side completely falls over. And when you're wanting, especially in a team like this, where they're chasing and requiring 104 now, there's not much you can do, and the Danish side will have a smile on their face.
They fought back really well from a initial attacking opening partnership from Jersey to restrict Jersey to 131. They would have felt like that was probably only around par.
It was absolutely a success, and I think the Jersey side were very disappointed when they, looking again like Denmark were in this game, heading towards 160, 170. I think both sides would have wanted to do that, but again, they restricted the likes of John Jenner and Ben Stevens and Corey Bisson as well. You saw him hit a half century in his first game. Restricted. They got him early and got the crucial wicket of Bisson and Farabee at the start of their innings.
Yeah, but the Danish batters just couldn't get it going against Jersey yesterday. They fell to 36 for 6 in that chase of 131 before eventually coming up short by 18 runs. And that's really put them into a must-win situation in all of their remaining 4 matches. So they'll be pleased that they're right on top here. And that required run rate ticks over 10 and over for the first time in.
Well, with every dot ball, with every single, it's going to creep up. As they just sneak in a single, it's just played well off the hip there. by Niatsi. But they're going to be needing to go for twos and boundaries here, Andrew.
He's a much looser action, Saif Ahmed. Very different to his skipper, Hamid Shah. Comes a little bit more round arm as well. But he's proving equally effective at the moment. And he's going to, interestingly, remain on the same side. He'll bowl around the wicket to the right-hander now. Going to finish with the dot ball. That's the halfway stage of the innings. Norway, they're stagnating. They're stuck on 39 for 4. I'm going to pass over to Kira Metcalf, who'll stay with Ian Leggett.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Well, Ali Tafsir, he was the top scorer for Norway in their game against Jersey with 19 off 28. So welcome Kira back into the commentary box. So we'll just take a look at the scorecard here. The KGV for this clash between Norway and Denmark. Now, Kira, it's not a very pretty sight. But this middle partnership is starting to build something possibly for Norway.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Yesterday, we noticed that the Jersey team used a lot of sweeps.
That shot is a big shot there. It's gone for 6.
Fantastic shot.
Wonderful strike. Talk us through that one, Kira.
Yeah, again, getting maybe the line wrong and the batter getting his hands through the ball, moving his front foot out a little bit wider to give himself room to get a maximum. Just again on the sweep thing, there's been a couple of balls there, maybe from the other end, that yesterday you would have seen the Jersey team sweep the ball. So it's definitely something they in the future need to look to bring into their game, because in this T20 format it's very effective.
Well, this is the captain, Hamid Shah. Once again, from the retirement home end. And there's a big shot again. It could be consecutive 6s here. Another fantastic strike there from Ayatollah Niatsi. Andrew was alerting us to the fact that he does have a bit of power hitting in him. Well, what a way to go about this chase now.
Absolutely. This is what we want to see from Norway, and this is what they have to do to try secure this win.
The score moves swiftly on to 51 for 4. The required run rate now 9.41. They just lowered it slightly. Is he going to go again? He's attacking the Denmark captain here. Well, Hamid Shah. And that's better bowling there. I think he was tempted to maybe play a late cut shot there, Niatsi, but he just restrained himself. Didn't want to be over eager. They have got a guy. A deep cover. And he just pushes that one forward. It's going to be received well. They're going to go for a single hit. That's really good vision there. Direct hit could have been out. But that's really good vision there from Niatsi. Just wanting to keep the runs going. 6, 6, dot and 1 now in this over against Hamid Shah.
Absolutely, and he's just trying to show that his intention and also keep the pressure back on the bowler. He's pushing it back on him. Getting that single then just added nicely to the score.
Well, we haven't seen the Denmark captain hit around like this in the tournament so far, as that ball's played really well. Just passes. Carlin picked up by third man. Really good bit of fielding there. Slides onto the ground, just restricting what was going to be 2 runs. As Niatsi moves back on a strike. A left-hander. Hit 2 very big shots at the start of this over. Will he go again? And he drives that along the ground. There's going to be a fielder there at Cow Corner. Picked up well. They run 2. It's really good running for the Norwegian batsman to sneak into. And it's met well from the players on the pavilion, Kira.
Absolutely, and just talking about the running between the wickets earlier, and as you could see, the person who was running to the danger end knew they had to run that extra bit faster and secure, or to make sure that they got home. But again, there was 2 runs there, and a huge pressure put back on the captain, the bowler, and a really, really good over for Norway.
And just like that, they get 16 off the over. We haven't seen the Norwegians show that kind of power, but they clearly hit the 10th over mark and said, met in the middle and went, let's do this, let's go for the chase. Something we did not see against Jersey.
Yeah, there's definitely intention there, and it's good, and they have the skill to do it. It's nice to see.
Niatsi proving the power hitting ability that he has. And that's pushed forward there by Tafsir. Straight into the hands of the bowler.
Again, these 2 batters now will have played themselves in as such in T20, so they need to look out to hit out.
Well, that's just pushed onto the leg side there. They wanted a single, but they did have a guy at mid-wicket, so that was covered well. Well, I think the message may have come across with the drinks bottle. A wee hidden message in the bottle, according to police and Sting. And that's going to be caught and bowled. And that's the end of this partnership. Tafsir Ali departs for 5. Well, it was a wonderful little knock in the middle there.
That's unlucky for the batter, top edged. Straight back to the bowler's hands. And again, unlucky for Norway as well. That could have been a little partnership that was just building there. Whoever's coming out next needs to really run onto the pitch, show their intent, and bring a lot of energy out to the net, this batter that's already in.
Denmark grabbing wickets at crucial points here as we just take a look at the bowling card. That's Hamid Shah, second bottom, picking up a wicket. Young Ollie Holt as well. Oliver Holt grabbing a wicket, going for 5. What a fantastic spell. He's still got 2 overs left and no doubt will be brought on again by his captain. Gino Jojo's still got a couple overs as well. We know the pace that he carries.
And that's your favourite cricket name?
Gino Jojo, without a shadow of a doubt, is my favourite ever cricket name. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is.
I wish I was called it. It's got a bowling name. Ian.
Yeah, so Denmark have used 6 bowlers now, and again, we've spoken about mixing it up in T20, not letting the batters settle in, and I think they've done it really, really well.
Absolutely. Well, another wicket for Denmark, just as that partnership seemed to be building, but they still have Ayatollah Niatsi in. Hit them 2 6s. At the start of the last over, really went at Hamid Shah. But then Saif Ahmad just grabbing another wicket. Tasir Ali departing, making way for the new batsman. Well, is he going to settle himself in or is he going to go for it? Well,
Just for the Denmark team, they've left in a short mid-wicket, and I think it's actually a good move. Yesterday we've seen lots of soft hands pushing the ball there and running for 2, so that they're trying to cut that out completely today.
oh, let's hit the pad there. He tried to sweep. Couldn't get anything on it. He just practices the shot again. What's this good bowling so far from Ahmad? A wicket. He's onto a wicket maiden right now. It's just slowed the tempo down quite a lot. And again, just misses. There's an appeal for a stumping. And that's the energy. A wicket maiden for Saif Ahmad. What a fantastic over there, Kira.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just what the team needed at a time where they'd gone for 14 in the previous over. But it just shows you how quickly T20 cricket can change. A wicket, runs. I definitely think Norway have to keep their foot on the pedal and they must go for it. The overs are slipping away and there's still a big score to put on.
Well, they've got a change of bowling once again here. I think it might be Gino Jojo. And it is. Jojo bowling from the retirement home end, as it's been named, at the KGV. This is all part of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals, all seeking a place in that global qualifier in the UAE in October and November. Gino Jojo now looking to strike and grab his first wicket of the game. So we have Niatsi, big hitting Ayatollah Niatsi. They do have a long on and a long off here for the left-hander. And he plays that well. That just falls down a third man and picked up well. They grab a single. It's clever batting from Niatsi. Reacted well. Good pace from the bowler.
Absolutely, and there's nice, it was a good single because the fielders are all sitting back on the circle at the moment. Just trying to restrict the batters, but leaving enough space then that they can run through. They just have to play a little bit of clever cricket here, Norway. And the newer batter has to support the guy who's been on a little bit longer.
Do they have to get ugly? Are they going to have to play some ugly cricket here?
Maybe.
In comes Gino Jojo again. Well, new batsman at the crease here for Norway. It's Kaiser Ahmad. He's also the wicket keeper.
Again, having a chat in the middle. Maybe sitting back and just having a swing is not going to be effective.
Well, on the image here you see a wonderful view of the ground. Beautiful row of trees. It's a wonderful place to play cricket at the KGV. And that's just hit the batsman hard. There was a half-hearted appeal there from Gino Jojo. But just collected that third man. And brought in. Well, he hit the batsman with pace there.
Did it.
And Kaiser Ahmed couldn't do anything about it.
No, but again, the most important thing for Norway is they picked up the single there. They've got to be ready. The running off the pads is very important.
Well, 86 needed off these final 7.4 overs. Required run rate is now a steep 11.22 and over. We're going to need a bit more power hitting here from Ayatollah Niazi. He tries to go big, but just places his bat there and pushes the ball into square leg.
Again, the fielders getting up their steps today with the left-hand, right-hand combo.
Well, how many times are we going to say that in this tournament? Left-hand, right-handed combo. Getting their step count up. Something that my co-commentator Kira has been keen to do. All this sitting down in the commentary box. Walking out to the middle as much as possible. And that struck the pad again. There's going to be leg buys here. And they're going to go for two. They're just going to run the one here. And Kaiser Ahmed struggling again to get bat on ball against the bowling of Gino Jojo. First time the blue skies start to just disappear above our heads. It's still a lovely day to play cricket here at the KGV. That's well played there by Niazi. That's going to go to deep third man. And they've run two. It's really good running. Could be a run out if it was a direct hit. But he's pretty fast along the wicket, is Niazi. And they pick up another two. Well, that's a nice end to the over for the batsman.
Yeah, some really good running. Just if the batter did turn blind, so for anyone who's looking at their running technique, he did turn blind and he wasn't able to see where the ball was. But again, he committed and took off. And every run is vital for Norway at this stage.
Well, also every win in this tournament is vital, Kira. Europe Final 2019, all roads lead to the World Cup in Australia in 2020. And a win in this tournament, 6 teams, the top team heads towards the UAE for the global qualifier. Well, they get to be playing the likes of Scotland, Netherlands, Ireland, Hong Kong, Zimbabwe, PNG. That struck well, that could be caught. And that's another wicket here.
He just pushed at that too early and taken at point very easily.
Well, Baharaj, the receiver there. And there was almost a stunned silence. Like you said, it was a very easy catch there for the fielder. As another Norwegian batsman departs. That's the 6th wicket now. And that's Kaiser Ahmed walking back to the pavilion.
Yeah, this total is getting further and further away. Although they've got to come in with intent. There's some of these guys can still bat, and they need to make sure that they're supporting each other out in the middle, running as hard as they can, and really picking the ball and going at it.
It's a real shame that Kaiser Ahmed's fell. He hit a nice 13 off 18 balls against Jersey. We did see some power hitting from the player, but Ayatollah Niazi, the 18-year-old, one of the stars of Norwegian cricket, still at the middle. He's displayed of his pace bowling and also a bit of his power hitting so far. 81 needed. 6.5.
I think it's also clever bowling from the captain, because he was bowling from this end and he changed and he's mixed the bowlers around.
Wow, that's a brilliant bit of bowling there from Ahmad. Just forces the batsman onto his back foot. So we just fix our microphone here. And that's just, he saw what the batsman was trying to do there. Just play it round him. Couldn't get anything on it. This is Abdullah Sheikh in for Norway. 62 for 6. Tries to play a late cut, but just beating a bit more pace on that ball. Very difficult situation for the Norwegian side now. Once again, nearly signalled wide as we get a view of the 3G pictures behind.
They need to keep moving their feet and moving towards the ball.
Well, Pushes his bat forward there. Still nothing on it. Well, this has been a wonderful over from Ahmad. A wicket and just the wides so far. And that's wonderfully played by the batsman. He gets a bit on that and it falls to third man. And that's clever batting. You can see he's been trying to play that shot the last 3 balls and he finally gets off the mark. Concedes a single at the end of his over, and that's a wonderful bit of bowling by Ahmad for Denmark.
You can see the momentum has definitely swung back over to Denmark's way. They're working for each other, they're bowling well, and they're also passing the ball off to each other. So, you know, they build up pressure at one end, pass it on to the next bowler, and he'll go about his job the exact same.
Well, we just take a look at the scorecard here for Norway. 19 by Razor Iqbal at the start, but then just all single digits in the middle. Ayatollah Niazi on 23 though.
Just a few areas there where just a few batters maybe have taken a few extra balls, and in T20 cricket you actually don't have those. You've really got to hit the ground running. The batter's just pulled away there, and it's been signalled a dead ball by Mary Waldron. I suppose, again, this is a learning curve for some of these teams to, in the T20 format, to realise that you don't have the time of maybe a 50 over where you can come in and face a few balls and see what the bowler's doing.
Well, the Scandinavian clash leaning heavily towards the Danish now. And a wonderful turn of pace there by Jojo. Niazi, pace bowler himself. Young Afghan refugee. Played the under-17s tournament last year for Norway. Now, a fantastic regional final here. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals in Guernsey. Wonderful action there by Jojo as that ball's just pushed on.
Just like his bowling we highlighted yesterday, he's a young guy. He's learning his trade, say his cricket trade, and he needs the support of the batter at the other end as well. You can't just think that he's just going to come in and play some big shots. So I'd like to see the batter from the other end maybe just encouraging him a little bit, building up a bit of energy.
I think there's nerves on either end right now. And that's a wonderful bit of bowling again from Gino Jojo. He's gone for 11 off his 2.3 overs. A mini maiden so far in the over.
And this is happening now. This is good.
Well, 14.36 is the required run rate. Every dot ball, run rate rises. Becomes a steeper task for this Danish side. Well driven forward there. Just pushed on to the leg side and collected. A deep mid wicket. Now Niazi facing the left-hander. Driven hard along the grounds. Just a direct hit on the stumps. An underarm throw. That's a nice effort by the fielder.
Mary Waldron just collects the bail. It's been a little bit of a lull in atmosphere here. I'd definitely like to see the Norway bench. Words of encouragement coming. You know, you're all there together. It can just help.
Jojo in again, and he just taps that one forward. This Niazi and just grabs a single, calls for water. At the end of the over there, well, a great over from Gino Jojo, just conceding the 2 off it, and that's exactly what you need. With only the 5 overs to come here in this clash between Norway and Denmark, as we bid farewell to Kira Metcalf for the day, as we welcome back my Irish counterpart, Andrew Leonard.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. This game, unfortunately for Norway, just petering out. Denmark look almost certain to take the win here. Nearly 16 runs and over required now. There's been some really good cricket on show, particularly from the Danish fielders. Bowlers have operated with tight lines and lengths, but been really taken by the athleticism and commitment in the field of the Danes.
Absolutely, Andrew. They've really restricted this chase down to a minimum. Struck early. They do have Hayatullah Niazi in at the crease. We've seen the hitting he can do. Consecutive sixes against the bowling of Hamid Shah. But then another 2 wickets breaking up, another 2 partnerships.
Yeah, as he looks to hit that one down the ground and it loops just over the head of Saif Ahmed. Perhaps half a chance there. No power in the shot. Just loops off the top edge.
That would have been an impressive catch. If Ahmed managed to grab that, he was at full stretch, hands in the air. We've seen some very impressive fielding so far in this tournament.
Round arm again from Saif Ahmed, powered down the ground. The slog sweep just going to be a single. Difficult situation for Norway here. Almost a hopeless task, but you'd like to see Niazi go for it. He has the power to clear the ropes. Let's just see if he can get some late innings fireworks going here. Down the track, he just hasn't been able to find the elevation and been able to get under the ball because of this round arm action that Saif Ahmed has.
Absolutely, and Ahmed's been doing it to all the batsmen, picking up the 2 wickets as well. It's been difficult for the batsman to get a swing on it.
Yeah, quicker through the air this time. Just going to be a single. Actually, a bit of a misfield. A cover. Well backed up. They'll come back for 2.
That's good running there for the Norwegian batsman. They're looking for the 2, and that's exactly the right attitude they need to have. Still requiring 75 as we near just 4 overs remaining. Like you said, it's starting to become an impossible task. Well, that run rate sitting at about 16.
Yeah, the required run rate nudging towards 17 and over now. Skipper cover with the misfield there. Looks to smash that one down the ground, but it clips the off bail. It's the end of Niazi. It's a 3rd wicket. Super spell of off-spin bowling this from Saif Ahmed. And with that, Norway's final hope in this game goes. Denmark looks certain to close out their first win.
Well, a real shame to see Hayatullah Niazi, the 18-year-old, depart. He's played very well, and he gave his team just a slight glimmer of hope. Like I said, consecutive sixes against the bowling of Hamid Shah, which is no mean feat. The captain has been very impressive with his bowling in this tournament so far, but he went at him.
Yeah, Niazi's got to go. Top scorer this innings for Norway, but not a huge amount to shout about with the bat. 27 for off 23 from him. Raz Iqbal 19, but the rest of this Norwegian batting lineup not only struggling to get going and into double figures, but they just can't get their strike rates going. They're going to come up short without doubt today. Really playing for pride for the rest of this, but crucial stuff for Denmark. They've got to close out this innings and close it out quickly and get a big net run rate boost, which could be the difference towards the end of this tournament.
We talk about the side wanting to finish first. Obviously, only one team will get to go through to this global qualifier in the UAE, but playing for pride is a good way of putting it. Finishing 2nd, 3rd in the rankings is something these teams want to do against their European counterparts. So the ball's just pushed forward, but they will run a single here, and that's really good vision from the batsman there, just grabbing another one, allowing the score to tick over again.
Saeed Ahmed in at number 9 for Norway. He's not going to be on strike though, because that single, or in fact he's going to keep the strike. That single takes him off the mark. Our scorer is just trying to work out who's come in there at number 9. It is indeed Saeed Ahmed. So it's going to end the spell. Super spell of off-spin bowling. 4 overs, 3 for 9 from Saif Ahmed.
Well, how do the Norwegian batsmen approach this? Do they just try and restrict the score to a minimum? Or do they have a go and go for the boundary? Same for Denmark, like Andrew was saying. They've got to make sure they secure this victory and possibly get the final 3 wickets within touching distance of 20 overs.
Gino Jojo continuing from the near end here, and game just petering out, going through the motions, but it really is a crucial win for Denmark. Keeps them alive in this tournament. with a doubleheader tomorrow, who knows, by the end of Tuesday evening, Jeremy Bray and his side could be sitting on 6 points and back towards the top of that table. Cut away, that's a nice shot into the deep. There's protection out there. They'll come back for an easy 2.
Well, we talk about what a win will mean for the points. They also get a win over their Nordic counterparts. They get to claim the title of the Scandinavians, their pride in this tournament. But yes, the doubleheader tomorrow. Firstly against Guernsey, then against Italy.
That's a glorious shot, one of the shots of the day. All the way along the ground. He's taken a little while to get going, Shake, but a glorious extra cover drive. That's one of the shots of the day for me. In.
Absolutely, and no better shot in cricket in my opinion. Down on one knee, driven along the ground, through the covers. Exceptional cricket.
Looks to repeat it, but picks out the man in the ring. A direct hit's going to be out. Super fielding again from Denmark. He only had one stump to aim at. And Abdullah Sheikh had given up the ghost. He knew that a direct hit would have cost him his wicket. Denmark need to seize these little opportunities. Every run is going to count in net run rate.
But I'm really liking the attempt still. You know, they could pit her out. Looking at the required run rate, just under 20 now at 19.20.
Driven again to the fielder at extra cover, who fumbles this time. A big smile on his face. Just one ball remaining in the 17th over, and if Norway can perhaps target 100 as a moral victory, I'll be disappointed with their batting after making 150, 1 for 3 against Italy in their opening match of the tournament. Slower ball this time from Jojo, hit towards for the 3rd consecutive delivery. The fielder at extra cover. That's going to end 17th. Score now 78 for 7.
Well, I think questions are going to have to be asked of what has happened in the last 2 games. Considering, like you said, Andrew, they hit that 150 against Italy, one of the strongest sides in this tournament. But 80 all out against Jersey. And considering they possibly could get a score below 100 here with 3 overs to come, they will have to ask questions of how they are approaching the chase in this tournament.
Yeah, disappointment for Shaz Khan. He's the new head coach of Norway. Only been in the role 3 months, and he must have been so optimistic. After 23 overs of the tournament, he had Italy in all sorts of bother. Just 6 runs off their first 3 overs, chasing down 151. But what followed was fireworks from the Italian batsmen. Pereira and Maialo did the business for Italy. See a change in bowling, putting into the attack from the far end. He's going to replace the off spin of Saif Ahmed, who's finished his allocation of 4 overs now.
Well, Ahmed did his job diligently for the Danish side here. So he just plays a late cut there.
Yeah, Udin looks a much more orthodox off spinner. Certainly a little unconventional, Saif Ahmed, but how effective was he with his 4 over spell?
Oh, wonderful. Picked up a wicket, picked up 2 wickets.
He ended up with 3 for in.
3 for. As I misread the scorecard in front of me. Misplacing my 2s and 3s.
3 for 9 from his 4 overs, the star of the show with the ball for Denmark. And we're seeing spin to close out this innings here. Just 3 overs left. And good stuff from Hamid Shah, making sure all of his bowling options have some overs under their belt ahead of the doubleheader tomorrow. It'll be a big day for Denmark. They're going to need to win both those matches, you'd have to think. Could be the 8th wicket, it will be. Beautifully bowled, slower through the air. Taranjeet Barrage takes a much easier catch than the one he took earlier in the day. He's been outstanding in the field. That's the 8th wicket. 8th wicket for Norway. They now fall to 80 for 8.
Well, that's Udin picking up his first wicket of the tournament as well. Nice, like you said, a bit more orthodox. Change of pace after facing an over of Gino Jojo. So what the batsman was trying to do there, get a bit of height in it, maybe clip it towards the boundary, but unfortunately mistimes it, finds the edge and finds the hands of Balaraj.
Disappointment for Sheikh, one of the two Sheikh brothers in this Norwegian squad. He falls for just 11. And he'll have that one extra cover drive in his memory bank for the next time he gets out to bat. It'll be interesting to see the net run rate calculations at the end of today, Ian. Just how big a boost Denmark are going to receive from what's looking like a 40 or maybe 50 run win. Jeremy Bray will have his charges well drilled, and how crucial these margins of victory can be. They can make all the difference on the final day. A real classical off spinner, isn't he? And he could in.
It's a real wonderful action. It's a little throwback. One you would see on the training ground in your days at school. They teach the youngsters how to bowl. Wonderful.
Gets that right leg over the top beautifully. He's going to finish with a wicket in his first over. Just 2 runs coming from it. This Norway innings is going nowhere, and it's going nowhere in a hurry. They're 80 for 8, just 2 overs to go now.
Well, I asked the question to Kira when they were sitting in the 8th over. How do they approach this? After losing early wickets, Norway, did they go for it? Or do they keep the tempo low, try and maximise singles and go for the doubles? But unfortunately it has not worked out for this Norwegian side with 2 overs remaining, 62 required run rate of 31 and over. They're going to have to dream big if they were to pull this victory off, Andrew.
Yeah, as the old saying goes, not a completely impossible task, but pretty close to it. Oliver Holt is going to come in for the penultimate over of the match, with his left arm seam changing ends. Nicely bowled by him. He's been really consistent in Denmark's 2 matches so far. Very nice action, and you'd have to think that Denmark's superior fitness to a lot of these sides in this men's T20 World Cup European final could come into play now. They'll have an afternoon off, but then they'll have 3 games in 2 days, and they're going to need to win all 3 of them, I reckon, Ian.
Absolutely. When seeing Jersey in Italy, bag 3 wins out of 3. If they want to challenge them for the title. The ball's just driven well. Picked up by the fielder there and deep. Just restricting the 2.
Delaware Khan doing the work out, deep extra cover. Mary Waldron just having a quick word with Oliver Holt, perhaps telling him to not run straight down the wicket. And in fact, this will be the last use of this wicket this week. It's had 5 games in 3 days. Beautiful pitches. You can see the full square there at the KG5 playing fields. Beautifully bowled. Just going on with the arm. The angle across the right-hander. And he looks back at Mary Waldron and he says, I didn't go down the pitch that time.
That's a nice conversation between the player and the umpire there. I'm sure he's got a smile on his face. I've been really impressed by the 19-year-old. He bowled fantastically against Jersey. He's performed once again here for Denmark against Norway.
And they've got a great tradition and history of producing fast bowlers, Denmark. Big Ole Mortensen played for Derbyshire for many years. Amjad Khan went on to get a test cap for England. Spent many years at Kent County Cricket Club. The big tall Viking blood of Oliver Holt could be a name to watch in the future. Slower ball this time, hit down the ground. Can we work on for Nikolai Lesgaard in the deep, and he fumbles. Perhaps just losing his concentration under the floppy hat. Get back for a comfortable 2. But Denmark home and hosed now at the moment.
And that was very, very unfortunate for the batsman not to reach for that. The fielder did enough, like you said, to stop the ball, but a misfield like that, he should have just stopped running over the boundary.
Yeah, difficult at this stage of the game. Nicely bowled again, and really Norway just batting out time. The 2 batters treating this as a bit of a net. So 1 over to go. Norway 85 for 8. Denmark on the verge of their first victory this week here in Guernsey.
Well, you picked up on fitness, and I think that's a very interesting point, Andrew. After watching Jersey play their first 3 games, fitness was the one thing that really stepped them apart from their opposition, especially in their doubleheader. In a competition like this, where each team gets a doubleheader on one of the days, playing the 2 T20s, it's important to keep the momentum in the field moving, and Denmark is showing promise here. They look a lot more alive than they looked against their game against Jersey. That's going to give them a bit more hope as they move into their doubleheader tomorrow.
Going to be Annie Goodin to bowl the final over of the innings. Denmark will just be looking to restrict the runs as low as they possibly can. They're not going to worry about the 2 wickets they need. They're well on course for a 50-plus run victory, and all of our statistical boffins will have the calculators out, trying to work out all the net run rate permutations. That's hit down the ground towards the fielder at long on. It's going to fly over his head. Going to go all the way for 6. He thought he had a good chance at that. He wasn't right back on the rope. And a little bit of late joy for Junaid Sheikh, the tall fast bowler, going in down at number 10. A maximum for him to remember. Just what Denmark don't need.
That's a wonderful shot, and I'm sure mentally in their heads they'll be wanting to get to that 100 mark just for a little bit of joy as he goes big again.
Yeah, looks to repeat the dose, but it skews off the outside edge. And the fastest man in the field tears after that, Taranjeet Barrage. He's so quick on his feet.
Absolutely, he was onto that ball like a hawk. Sprinted over, not wanting to leak any more runs. Trying to restrict this Norway side and get a comprehensive victory again. Net run rate, it's got to play its part in this points table in this tournament.
Looks for the big hit down the ground, but it's going to loop straight to the man at cover. That's the 9th wicket. Good reward for Annie Goodin, who's bowled a couple of nice overs here. Junaid Sheikh has got to go for 9 off 6 deliveries. It's the 9th wicket, and Norway just 6 runs short of bringing up their 100. Nice little bit of chat there between Junaid Sheikh and the fielder. That's Lesgaard there at cover, who took the catch. So we're going to see Prithvi Bharat in at number 11 for Norway. Just 2 balls remaining in the innings. And a quite extraordinary required run rate of 144 per over.
We talk about the impossible, that is spectacularly impossible.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's even right at the bottom of the screen, but 48 to win off the final 2 balls. 24 runs needed off the 2 remaining legal deliveries. So Denmark are going to score their first win of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe final in comprehensive fashion. They've been much the better side today. I'm going to give great relief to Jeremy Bray after what was perhaps a surprising opening day defeat for them, or opening match defeat on the 2nd day of the tournament to Jersey. So Jersey and Italy stand atop the table with 6 points. We'll just see after this delivery, formalities, Denmark will take their first 2 points, but they'll have a chance tomorrow to get up towards 6 points as well. 2 games tomorrow for them. They'll play Guernsey and Italy. We see a bit of aggression to end the innings. A nice sweep shot, but it's just going to be a single. So that is the match, and that match goes to Denmark. Norway 94 for 9 from their 20 overs. They come up short by 46 runs. So a pleasing win for Denmark, delight for them, but they know that bigger challenges lay ahead over the coming days.
Well, it's been a very interesting game. A fantastic start by the Danish batsman, with Nikolaj Lesgaard partnering up with his captain Hamid Shah, who had a fantastic 40 off 40 balls.
Yeah, and you can see great joy for Denmark, but the celebrations are somewhat muted, and the reason they're muted is because they know it's only the first of the tasks that they have at hand this week. They had to win today, and they've done that job, and they've done it in good fashion. They'll get a good net run rate boost. They'll move into the positive side of things on the net run rate equation after their 18-run defeat yesterday to Jersey. And despair really for Norway. 3 matches, 3 defeats now for them. They will not be going to the UAE. They will not take this solitary qualification spot that they have.
I think Norway will be massively disappointed from this tournament. after finishing top of the table, top of their group in Group C. The qualifier, the Europe qualifier to get to this Europe final. To suffer 2 defeats from 2 already. It's very difficult to take.
Yeah, there's the confirmation at the bottom of your screen. Denmark have won today by 46 runs. Handshakes, warm handshakes from both sides. It was a Nordic derby played in very good spirit, as in fact the whole tournament has been. And with so much on the line, great to see the respect between both sides. The Nordic rivals. So let's take a look at the batting card. The second innings never really got going, with the exception of Hayatullah Niazi, the only one really to score at more than a run a ball.
Absolutely, and you see the start there, and the only real highlight for the rest of Norway was young Hayatullah Niazi scoring 27 for 20 off 23 balls, including consecutive sixes from off the bowling of Hamid Shah.
And these bowling figures from Denmark really impressive. Well, perhaps a little surprising, Nikolai Lesgaard only bowling those 2 overs up the top with his left arm spin, but he's been held back. Wickets as well for Saif Ahmed, 3 wickets for his off breaks, the star of the show, and 2 for Anikudin when the game was really gone. But all in all, plenty of depth in that bowling attack.
Absolutely, and Oliver Holt as well, picking up 1. Very impressive in his 3 overs, just going for 10. Nikolai Lesgaard, like you said, picking up the first wicket for the side, and grabbing them 2 wickets as well. Comprehensive, they bowled to a plan, but that is matched by a fantastic fielding effort from the Danish side. Looking to get that win as they head into their doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah, so what that means is, a summary of this match, Denmark have won by 46 runs. They've taken their first 2 points of the tournament. Norway, they're going to go 0-3. It was a comprehensive victory, to say the least. It'll be interesting to see who the player of the match is going to be. And there's the updated points table. Denmark, they move to 3rd. A good net run rate boost up to 0.7. But you'd have to think that they're going to need Jersey to falter against either Germany tomorrow or perhaps in Italy in their final game. There's every possibility we could end up having 3 teams with 4 wins at the end of the week.
Absolutely, and Germany will be pretty tough opposition for Jersey. They'll be looking to get their 2nd win as well, after faltering yesterday against Italy. But Denmark, like you see, on third position, that net run rate going to play a crucial role in this tournament. But yes, up at the top, Jersey and Italy looking real contenders to take the top spot and advance to the global qualifier in the UAE.
Both Denmark and Germany will play double headers tomorrow. Denmark facing off against Guernsey in the morning before moving on to play Italy in the afternoon. Whereas Germany, they'll be across at College Field. I'll be there. We'll have some history as well, because we're going to see not just my commentary but also some sign language commentary. So really looking forward to bringing that a world first to you tomorrow with ICC Europe. And Germany's 2 games that I'll be doing at College Field are going to be against Norway and against Jersey. So plenty of time for both Denmark and Germany to get up that table tomorrow ahead of the final day of the competition on Wednesday, where we will crown the champion of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final. For today though, this is Andrew Leonard and Ian Leggett. We're going to sign out by wishing you well. Enjoy your afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:45 a.m.